Sanchez, just one who's out there in the fight to teach. Bro Sanchez, you got the story right, and now I see, yeah. Bro Sanchez. Bro Sanchez, just one who's out there in the fight to teach. Bro Sanchez, you got the story right, and now I see, yeah. Bro Sanchez.
Peace and much love. Peace and much love, everybody. How y'all doing? And welcome back, yo. Hit the like button on your way in. We'll be dropping a link for this one. And the link will only be for, religious people. People who the link is only dropped for people who feel that faith-based agendas align with science-based agendas. So that's what we doing today. Hold on a second. Shit, let me see. Actually, shut every damn thing down. That a bitch. Yeah, hold on a second, y'all. We're gonna start in a minute.
Sánchez cocinado.
I've been in the lab. I've been in the lab cooking up, man. So y'all hear my new beats. You can see that I'm getting better and better with my craft. My beat store needs to be updated with these new beats on it. Give me some time to update the beat store, and I'm gonna be taking down a lot of the old beats so I can give them a remix. Cause now that I know a lot of more stuff, I'm gonna be re-putting those out, and it'll sound better. But that's gonna take some time, cause I'm in the process of making them right now, and I have like my different modes. And right now I'm just in creator mode, and that's just the mode I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Until I get out of that, I just neglect everything else. But anyway, somebody said run that one back. I would run it back, but you know, the people are ready to get into the show. So salutes to everybody. Let's do it. Today's title is Science versus Religion. Are faith-based agendas in alignment with science-based agendas? Very, very important topic. Very important topic. Why is it an important topic, Brother Sanchez? Well, a lot of the groups that are pushing for climate change action and pushing for scientific innovation into the climate, into the environment, are religious-based groups. And, you know, a lot of the groups that attack your boy are all religious-based groups that are part of the Abrahamic faiths. What you will find is the Freemasons, the Boule, all of these different groups they're allied with your religious leaders of the world. People don't think that religion is a form of occult initiation, but it is. We're going to talk about that Thursday. I got a deep stream on my main channel. But we all are initiated into the occult knowingly or unknowingly. Well, what's the purpose of them getting us initiated? All of the initiates can be controlled to a certain degree. So when you sign up to any ideology, it comes with a group of rules, do's, and don'ts, mentality, values, morals, all that stuff. And we don't look at our religious groups as cults, as these things that give us all of that, but they are. What happens when we have a religious ideology that conflicts with a scientific agenda? You know, for example, you got a lot of religious groups that are knocking on the senators and politicians' doors saying, what are you going to do about climate change? And I'm like, that's hypocritical, because if you're a Christian, right? If you're a Christian, right? Sorry about that, but if you're a Christian, like I was saying, and you have, for example, you part of an organization or an ally, a union of groups, right, consisting of black community groups, religious organizations, STEM-based organizations. All of these organizations are in cahoots, but they also are in conflict. And I always wondered how they could coexist, which is why I do shows like this. And I think that the reason they can coexist today is because of the United Nations, the New World Order agenda, which requires all of our world leaders to be on board to see this new religion out among the masses, which will consist of a new belief system of aliens, of extraterrestrials, also a new set of behavior as far as how we supposed to move going forward, reacting to climate change. Now, you probably saying, Brother Sanchez, how can you call a person a hypocrite because they're a Christian and they teaching their children to align with science and to be scientific? What's wrong with that, Brother Sanchez? Well, your Bible teach that your God is coming back to destroy the world and reset everything. This is what your Bible teach. Your Bible teach that your God is coming to the world, destroying this shit and gonna make it better and rebuild it again. Now, if you're a Christian and you looking at the world being destroyed and you saying to yourself, man, we need to help and get on board with scientists and get with the leaders of the world so that we can help save the world. All I'm saying is that you are going against your God. If your God is the one that's fucking everything up, if your God is the one that's saying, listen, hell yeah, I'm about to fuck the weather up, I'm about to make famines come because God coming back. Instead of Christians trying to say, oh, let me stop the weather from changing, let me fight against the famines, you should be rejoicing. You should be saying, yay, man, this shit falling apart. Hooray, my God coming back, baby. That's my God motherfucking changing the weather, nigga. Uh-huh. But you Christians are scared of your God. My thing is, all religious people right now are acting like hypocrites. Because even if you're into Islam, your Quran teaches the same thing, that basically all of these faiths have a doomsday event in the end, with the world being destroyed and recreated, or great reset as we call it. My thing is, if your God coming to destroy the world, why would you get with the leaders of the world and help them save it? You are now in direct opposition of your God, and I want you to know that. I want you to know that. And why am I saying this? Sit y'all ass down somewhere. You think you doing so good out here protesting against climate change and stuff? And the fact that the religious groups are the most vocal on it show you that they the most fucking hypocritical. Y'all talk about your God making it rain fire and brimstone, and when your God finally make it rain with fire and brimstone, y'all gonna be running for help for the powers that be. You should be looking up in the sky at that fire and brimstone saying, yes, soon as that shit hit me, I'm gonna be finally meeting up with my God in heaven. I'm gonna be one with Christ. The time is nigh. Christ, why are you scared of the God that you waited so long to show up? He told you when he was gonna show up, he was gonna be tearing shit up when he get here. So why get scared? You waited for the Most High. And now you want to run the science and world leaders to save you from the God of destruction that told you he was going to come for the church in the end of days, and when he show up, all hell going to break loose. Not at all hell breaking loose. Why don't we see the same energy? That's what my show is about today. I'm saying that science and religion can't coexist. They can't have a kumbaya unity moment. And I'm going to divide and conquer that shit. I'm going to get in between it and say, no, man, hey, you two need to be fighting, nigga. I'm going to be the divide and conqueror of this shit. Because the two can't. Think about this, right? The agenda is, remember what we used to say? All of these damn religions, when the time is right, is going to be consolidated by the United Nations so that they can control every single religious fashion in every country through their world leaders in that group. Go read the King Alfred plan. They documented in the government that they will use our entertainers, celebrities, religious leaders, and all that, the people with power, to push their agenda. Remember when the jab came out? Who was pushing it? Your rappers and shit. Girl, you looks good. Won't you vatch that thing up? You had rappers, you had religious leaders. I mean, they was giving it out in the church. I'm showing you that the United Nations agenda will be pushed through your most influential people. And when their agenda is pushed through these people, you're going to see the hypocrisy and contradiction to know who's selling out or not. Because think about it. If you're a pastor that's been teaching your church for years that your building is a place of healing, why were you giving out the jab in it instead of the Holy Ghost? You serve a God of healing, and his name Christ, not Pfizer. So my thing is, are y'all Christians and religious-based groups really relying on faith, or are y'all relying on science and technology? Science, the end goal of science and technology is to save the world. The end goal of the God of the Bible is to destroy it. You gotta choose one. Are you gonna be with the lords of this world, or the God of heaven, which promises to destroy the earth? I'm saying, I'm calling out all the religious groups out there on your hypocrisy right now. There's a hypocrisy that needs to be addressed, and I'm addressing it. So the link is pinned to the top. And if there are any, religious brothers and sisters, much love to you, who want to participate in a dialogue with me, go ahead. It'll be one at a time, and I'll reserve the call line strictly for you. We're going to bring on Daryl because I know he's a religious brother. And in a minute, we'll bring on the entire round table. Salutes to the Dean General. Let me throw some headphones on since we got callers coming on. You feel me? So, Daryl, whenever you get your audio ready, man, how you doing? And welcome to the bill.
Hey, bro, can you hear me good?
Yep.
Or is it crackling?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, how you doing, bro, man? Sorry I've been gone for a minute. Man, brother been trying to, get these papers, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're working a lot, man. But, man, yo, you know what? You did it to me again, man. See, here's the thing about Christianity, man. Okay, so like I told you before, I used to be a deacon at my church, right? So, so the way that we learn, the Bible and everything, it was more of a concept that like Jesus was our savior. So Jesus, because I think there's a scripture in there where it says that the part where he said shall return, and like you said, like the dead in Christ shall rise first, and so on and so on. So I think most Christians think that we're going to be protected by Jesus when he comes here, so we won't get wrecked by this destruction, because we've been got caught up already in the rapture, and so the great Armageddon between God and devil is supposed to be battling against each other.
Well, that ain't what the Bible say. The Bible say that before the rapture happened, Christians gonna be around for a lot of the bullshit. The economic collapse gonna happen. The famines and all that good stuff happened before the rapture take place, though. So.
Yeah, but you remember the part where it says the one that I gotta paraphrase it, but it's like it says something like one will be gone in Christ and one will stay on the earth. Because the people that believe in Christ, they're the one that gonna be caught up in heaven, and the people the non-believers is gonna still be here on earth. You remember that? You don't remember that part?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So that's what they having their faith in. You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, what do you think about faith-based groups aligning themselves with the world's scientific-based agendas as far as smart world, fighting against global warming, so-called global warming, climate change, all of that stuff?
But you know what? You were right. That's why I said you did it again. Because now what you just said, how you put that, I mean, you're kind of right because, like I said, my whole point was we're looking at it from a mysticism way, whereas it's already happening. Like all the shit that you said is happening. Things getting fucked up, like like never before. People going crazy, and I mean everything. And I'm like, man, this man, that's deep right there because that's what could be happening. Like the system, the system is breaking down. Everything's getting done. The strange weather, all the strange weather and everything is happening. Practically what the Bible was saying was gonna happen. You know, so I'm like, wow, I'm like kind of with you on that one, bro.
Yeah, because it's like how you gonna say that in the end time our God's coming to tear this world up? Then when he start coming and do it, you get with the leaders of the world to go against it. And y'all, that's
Right.
all I want. And this is a trend that I see, like a bunch of religious groups and, not just Christians, Muslims, Hebrews, getting into STEM, science, taking these positions of, that the world elite are taking to so-called save our planet. And it's like
Right.
that agenda of saving our planet, quote unquote. If I was a Christian, that would conflict in that book of Revelation. If it's God's end goal to destroy the earth, anybody trying to save it is your enemy, right?
Right. I
And
mean
that's
that makes sense.
so that's my thing about religious people out there, because their gods don't teach them that the world gonna be saved. It teach them that the church will be saved if they don't participate in the world, if they be in the world but not of the world. You are
Right.
you are of the world if you going along with the World Economic Forum agenda. So
Right. Exactly.
I
But you
got
know
it.
what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm gonna open up the round table because it don't look like we're gonna get any one-on-one like religious people to join. Maybe they feel more comfortable joining with a round table, so we just gonna let everybody on. And
Yeah.
we ain't
Yeah.
trying to
Let
fight you guys or nothing. We just having a conversation and picking y'all's brain.
yeah.
Everybody got their own level of mental paradigm, and if you're a religious person, respect to you, much respect to you, you know.
Yeah. I would like to hear somebody else point of view on that. I would like to hear a different Christian say something.
Yeah, I'm allowing them on now, Dara. And salutes to salutes to Dean. He ain't got his audio on yet, but we got 4 people on here right now. John X, and I'm gonna drop the link again. This is one of my favorite topics, man, because like the level of hypocrisy is just real big on this one. So we'll pat we
True that. True that.
and
Yeah.
we can kind of bounce around whatever y'all want to talk about as well that's concerning with this, so we ain't locked in.
Yeah.
Hold up a
Well,
second.
I guess somebody ain't saying nothing.
No, I'm
So,
over here drop. I'm trying to do some other stuff. I'm about to grab it in a second. Yeah,
oh, okay.
but yeah, you got it.
Well, and see, like I said, me and you both came from the holiness church, man. But like, and like I heard you said like you never did felt the Holy Ghost and stuff, but whereas me, I actually have, if that's what it was called during that time. Because again, I'm a musician and I play the bass. I play the bass for my church, and there be times when I don't have no problems whatsoever. Everything's great, and I'll come into church, and sometimes whatever if that's what you call the Holy Ghost that come in at some point, man, I just started crying, just being thankful, and but but when I really think about it though, man, that's real deep though. That's real deep as far as like, because if we're saying that Jesus is Satan's brother, which is really true, and they're both trying to got the same goal, it's to win over your soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't realize that we're worshiping another devil, right? Am I right or wrong for saying that with Jesus?
Yeah, so there was no such thing as the devil or a god. You had gods and devils, plural, before this concept of a singular god and singular devil.
Ah,
So I believe
I
that
missed that one.
Jesus and Satan are just two devils. But that concept of uh, because what they call before it was called a devil, it was called a man of sin. And yeah, it was called a man of sin. And what the man of sin was in it what they anybody that was living under like gluttony, pride, and boom, boom, boom. So that means any human living a far away could be considered a devil before they turned it into the devil making you do bad, and all that spooky stuff. But so it was called a man of sin, and the thing about the man of sin, it was a man that represented sin or embodied sin. That would be the devil today, or the representation of evil. Or we need a deity to represent, bad. But before it was a red dragon with horns, it was literally a man who was just full of sin, a man of sin. It was more like an antichrist type creature. And it was said to not just be one, there was many. So it was like a demons concept, like devils. But the whole thing about that is Jesus became the embodiment of sin up on the cross. So all of the sins in the universe went into Jesus on that cross. In other words, this is what y'all don't realize. Jesus bared the sins of everybody in the universe. All the sins that was ever committed and gonna be committed, he took them on that cross. So that mean that at that point, just say that the devil was guilty of a whole bunch of murders, rapes, and all that. Everything, even the sins that's on the devil's slate, was handed over to Jesus. People not realizing that. In this religion that we call Christianity, they had a scapegoat or a doll that would represent all of their bad. And they would basically, let me show you the slides to this because we about to go deep now. Because if I just say this, y'all gonna think it's my, I'm finna show you something and blow you away. Because when they say everything started from voodoo, the oldest African religion, I'm about to show you about the whole, about the history of all this shit. Y'all give me a few minutes real quick. So watch this. So you know how they give y'all the voodoo doll with the needles in it? Now look at this voodoo doll with the needles in it right here. Let me show y'all something. This is the earliest religion, but I'm gonna explain to you what this meant right here. So hold on. Yeah. So the voodoo doll with all the needles, right? Check this out, right? This is the earliest form of Christianity. When they tell you that Jesus was pierced in his sides and pierced all over and he wore a crown of thorns, when they told you he was pierced in his sides and had on a crown of thorns, here it is right here. And this was your original voodoo doll concept. But let me explain to you the magic behind this. What these early folks, see, religion and all of these things were a group of occultists who was looking for a way to cheat karma. because our ancestors taught that whatever you do, it's going to come back to you. What goes around comes around. It might not happen to you today, but if you wrong that person, the universe karma, the law of karma, as the Hindu said. When the church was established, they went against the universal law of karma. They went against what goes around comes around, and they start telling people, well, you can do whatever you want, and you can just ask God for forgiveness. And it don't matter how bad you were. You could have been a rapist, a pedophile. But if God forgive you, you're good. So that changed things in the world. But the concept of looking for a way around the law of karma comes from this voodoo doll concept. What they would do is every bad action that they took, like a negative action, they would pin it to a voodoo doll that represented the person who took the action. And in their mind, that it was ridding the real human from the wrong deed and putting into the doll, right? So you would take all of your wrong deeds and pin them to this doll that represented you, and then by pinning them all to this doll and burning up the doll, it said that your evil deeds are washed away with the doll that represented you. Now, this is a bunch of pseudo magic from people who did not want to live the right way and follow the law of karma, because all of this magic don't work. And what goes around comes around, and ain't no such thing as God gonna forgive me. So the concept of Christ bearing on all of our sins come from this voodoo doll, which was the scapegoat to the real person who was doing the real evil act. But they used this doll as a scapegoat to pin that deed to it and then destroy the doll. And that was a ritual saying, now I'm free of karmic law of whatever I did. And they turned that into a real religion today. And they just made Christ a big ass voodoo doll for everybody to pin their sins to and just say, well, it died with him on the cross. So that's what they would say back in Celtic magic. They would pin all of their little, if they raped the little girl, they'll write that on a piece of paper, pin it to the doll that represented them, all of their evil acts, burn the doll up, and say, well, I'm cleansed now of it because the doll, it went into the doll, you know. So that's the same concept with Christ today. He's just a big version of that same scapegoat, and that's why I'm showing you the Catholics' man of sin versus African voodoo culture. So no one else gonna make these connections for y'all. So check this out, guys. You wanna know why the world so bad? Because good people think that you can do wrong and just ask for forgiveness, and that shit ain't nothing gonna you good. But it's karma. See, back in the day, they taught whatever you did gonna happen back to you. And when you was teaching that in children, it made them not wanna do bad shit to a mother. If you taught, hey, ain't nobody paid no price for that nigga, you gonna pay for that. Like, so it was a different world. But like I said, with religion, here's where we at today. And the reason I want to talk to religious folks, let me turn this off. We want to talk about how they are the #1 instrumental groups that are pushing for UN intervention, government intervention on an environmental level. Now listen to me, guys. All of the UAP, UFO stuff, that falls under the United Nations environmental program. It's called UNEP, United Nations Environmental Project or Program or something like that. But UNEP is full of agents and ufologists and relics and different occultists and stuff like that. And instead of them investigating environmental concerns, they are creating environmental problems, Hegelian dialectic, so that they can then come with the solution. So you got to notice that climate change is an environmental issue. UAP, UFO is an environmental issue. And what the powers that be, they need consent to go ahead and terraform the earth on a major level. And they cannot do it without these new scares of UFO, UAP, along with climate change. Now, this makes an excuse for us to now build more radical technology to examine and scrutinize and interface with the environment, right? So this turns into a more controlled environment for you and me. Before you know it, we're gonna look up and they're gonna created a smart grid of technology across the world, and every single citizen will be more controlled and more programmed under the guise of environmental technology, environmental work. So yeah, we see where it's going, and I'm gonna show you how the religious leaders and entertainers and celebrities is gonna lead the masses to hell in a handbasket, because they're gonna need sellouts and influencers. That's what I'm telling y'all. So that explains why your religious groups are the #1 advocates for all of this intervention from the UN and all of that, when it's hypocritical on their behalf to be part of this, based on what I said earlier, and I'm going to yield the floor.
Yeah, they always talk about saving the world, not saving humanity, because they want to depopulate humanity. And so they have to come up with this excuse that we're a threat to the world and that we need to be dealt with, and that all the problems are a result of overpopulation and that we can't have more people. So it's basically just genocide, but they pretend with their invisible enemy that they make up to save us from, save us from the climate change. They can do just really, really awful things. And the United Nations is so insidious. So you're right on the money.
Yeah, salutes Tim, Truth.
Yeah. Hey, and a lot of people don't realize, like you be saying, it's people that look like us that got big scams going on, and they are allowed because they are part of the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? But that just keeps us under. It's like everybody's job is to keep us brown people down, and a big part of them be us, man. I'm gonna fall back for a minute.
Did you guys ever research the beginning of the World Health Organization? And like the first thing they did was start shipping millions of tons of toxic DDT to poor countries and to fight quote unquote malaria. And it's like, you look back in hindsight, knowing what we know now, and it's like they went so far out of their way and they spent so much money to spray DDT all over the place, especially inside people's homes, and these toxic nets that they put up. They have to create a threat, and it helps with the mosquitoes when they can point at it and say, this is like, what did Bobby Knight say the other day, that it's the most dangerous animal? I think that's absurd. But yeah, they need to have a threat. And the climate change.
You're going to get him mad with that, Tim. He might hop on his mug with smoke. He salutes.
The most deadly animal. That's ridiculous. A mosquito.
The reason he said it is because, it's so many of them, and they do bite you. If they program,
no, they say it because they say that it spreads disease and parasites.
Yeah, and
I don't believe that. I think what's really happening is mass poisoning, which they excuse with their mosquito excuse.
So no, you don't think the mosquito at least is like top?
It might be a little bit of both.
3 or some.
It might be
of the most dangerous.
I look at the people behind it and what they're doing, and I just think it's a lie. I think it's like a magician's trick where they're like, we have to come up with a threat, and if we put enough propaganda and enough fear mongering and create these things into little monsters, they're going to come and kill you. Then people will invite us in to spray poison everywhere, and they sprayed it everywhere.
Remember when Bill Gates released his man-made mosquitoes in Florida?
Right.
Now,
yeah, they say that he released that they released male mosquitoes which don't bite humans. And they were saying that they were trying to depopulate. Well, yeah, that's a great point. I don't take them at their word, but
we don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually trying to.
Tim, you think Bill Gates has our best interest at heart? So
no, of course not. Man. The exact opposite. But what if? Here's another angle. What if they're trying to exterminate all the mosquitoes and all the bees, and they're what pollinate our crops.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Like the bees been disappearing for over a decade, which been contributing to a lot of the famine going on. But something is predating on them, and I'm thinking it's some artificial shit. See, I think there's a spiritual warfare happening on the earth, and before it get to humanity, it's gonna take place through the insect kingdom, flower kingdom, animal kingdom, and when it get to us, we ain't gonna be ready. But I'm telling you, the
Well, it's amazing.
environment. The environment and Mother Nature is already directly going to war with the enemy. It ain't trickled to us yet. We still think he on our side.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you look at the
they
technology they
also
say they're using, it's fascinating. They say that it's gene drive technology, that they release a bunch of males, they go mate with the females, and that the offspring can't reproduce. So if they have this technology, which they're saying they're trying to use to exterminate mosquitoes, they could use that for bees. They could use that for mammals. I mean, that's just crazy.
the 5G radiation too is proven that it's killing the bees and mosquitoes and all types of shit too.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, but look up how much they spray for mosquitoes. It's obscene. Like recently in New York, they've been doing it every week, spraying really toxic stuff. I just went through a deep dive, looking up these pesticides they use, and like there's study after study showing that it halts human development in like the first 36 months, and they're just spraying it all over, and they pretend like they're saving us.
You know, and they talking about how malaria is a disease caused by mosquitoes, right? Ain't they saying that?
Parasites that are carried. Yeah, parasites that the mosquitoes carry, they say. Although I think we should question everything. I don't believe them.
Yeah, so, but you know,
okay. No, I was gonna say, man, I can't tell how many times, even from a kid, so maybe like, I'm gonna say like about mid-30s, I've been getting bit by mosquitoes at some point because I love to be outside. And the worst that ever happened to me was just I get bumped.
Right.
I get those mosquito bumps on there. I mean, that's it. Like, for them to come and say that mosquitoes give you malaria, man, I don't know. Yeah,
you gotta
it's
think
suspect,
though.
man.
Look at what they've done.
When man got his, think about this. They got drones that exist on a nano level. You know how like they scaling everything up to size and down to size. Hear me out. So like their drone technology and the size of a camera now can be the size of a rice grain and even smaller. Nanotechnology is real. You can have a camera the size of a crumb on your table. Now check this out. You know they can have an insect flying around that look just like a natural gnat or a mosquito, but that shit's remote control, and somebody landing that bitch on you, and that mosquito inject your ass, and it that's the world we entering now, is what I'm telling y'all, with what they got, you know what I'm saying, with their own organisms and shit. They can do all this.
Hold up.
Possible.
Check this out. I swear to God, I can't even make this shit up. I'm 51, right? So I went back to my hometown, which is in North Carolina, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So I'm sitting on the back porch. I'm back there chilling, whatever. Something landed on me and the shit was heavy. Bro, I popped this shit and it fell in my lap. I swear to God, this motherfucking mosquitoes, the thing on the front of it that is sticking you, that shit was like as long as my fingernail. And this motherfucker lived for like 3 hours. I put it inside of this plastic. Just looking at this shit, yo, I'm like, yo, this can't be a fucking mosquito. Don't you know, like on Iron Man, when that dude made them other robots, he was trying to make the one like Iron Man, but it just had a little head stuck on top of the motherfucker. Yo, that's what this mosquito looked like, bro. I still got the motherfucker. It don't look like a real mosquito. I ain't never seen no shit like this before in my life, bro. I can't make this shit up, man.
And you can look it up.
Wow.
Bro, I got this shit in plastic. I wish I could show y'all.
Crazy.
They got one, right?
Real shit.
They got, dig this. They got one little video where they caught one of them, and it showed a camera and everything inside of them. But it's used as an act of war. They'll send like let's say 10,000 of them into a certain area. All they're trying to do is get the surveillance. They don't care if you catch them, swat them down, whatever. They got the information they needed, and then they use that. But anyway, to a further note, did y'all see the Chargers game with the iRobots all in the audience? Did y'all see that? It's a lot of things going around. Last week, the San Diego Chargers had a game, but they had the androids sitting there looking like humans and stuff, but they had, you can tell they was robots because they let the back of their head show. But they just, and here's why I say this. They're just recording all the movement for the data. That's all them robots was doing, and the people let them get away with it. But go ahead, shout out to the people, man.
Well, I saw a
Shut up.
pretty dystopian news clip where it was like these robot looking things serving people at like a restaurant or something. And they were spinning it as a positive. They were like, well, these are being controlled remotely by disabled people who couldn't otherwise work. And so they're trying to sell it to people. And they're like, how can we convince people to accept all the jobs being automated by human looking robots? And I guess that this is like they're phasing the stepping stones, right? And
Yeah.
it's crazy. They're like, oh, well, we're helping disabled people. It's like these people sterilized disabled people for hundreds of years. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's how Elon Musk's trying to integrate that shit in there, for sure.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Hey, you can actually pull it up on a sidebar when you get a chance. Just type in San Diego Chargers robots at football game. It was just last week. And you'll see the technology they used. And they got them in some type of jumpsuits. And they just walking all around, sitting there, just staring at people. It's spooky as hell. But go ahead.
So we got a lot of topics to cover today. The main topic was, what we covering now, science versus religion. But then I got more topics. If y'all, whenever y'all want to skip to the next one, let me know or whatever.
Yeah, bro, Sanchez. Don't you think? Don't you? Go ahead.
I'm trying to put this mosquito up so y'all can see this shit, bro.
Oh,
this motherfucker huge. Huh? I can't get the shit where y'all can see it, bro. But I'm trying to.
We take your.
Take a picture and post it. Yeah, take a picture on your camera.
Yo, bro, Sanchez. Let me ask the panel too.
I believe
right?
you, dog. I believe you, real true.
Let me ask the panel this too, because there's some scriptures too in the Bible that really agree with science too. So what? How can we say that they're not they're opposite to each other when they also actually agree with each other, like Job chapter 25:7 that said that the earth was empty nothingness, right? It was hanging on nothingness, right?
If I might answer this or at least make a comment of it. Hello to the whole panel. Nice to hear from you guys. Reporting from
What's
Europe.
What's up, John X?
All good, guys. Reporting from Europe. I'm doing a fasting. I've been 48 hours without eating any food and drinking any water. I wanted to make a comment on what he just said. Basically, the origin of religion and the origin of science and religion, they do have a common ancestor. Back in the day, religion was science and was also education, and it was government. It was all together. And about 200 years ago, with the theory of evolution, they kind of separate, but still the concept is pretty similar. So there's a couple of notes that I just want to get into. One is this, that the origin of science and religion, they have a common ancestor. Then that the history of Adam and Eve, they basically eat from the tree of knowledge. And before that, they were in paradise. Before having knowledge, they were in paradise.
Well, that story isn't meant to be taken literal. All of these religious symbolism are meant to be deciphered, just like me telling a child the story of the birds and the bees when I'm describing how they was born. You understand? They don't think that we taking the birds and the bees literally. It's a symbol to explain the higher knowledge. But we started taking these things literally, and that's how the world got dumbed down, if you ask me.
I do agree that they have, but they also have, as a direct thing, I find interesting that they eat from the fruit of knowledge. The other thing is like the theory of the Big Bang, the theory of the Big Bang, and the story of God, especially this monotheistic God. They're very similar. If you ask to a scientist what there was before the Big Bang, he would tell you basically nothing, or he would try to avoid the answer. If you ask to someone who believes in God, who was before God, he would tell you the same. And the theory of the Big Bang has been also created by a priest. In the other note, it's about like political figures, idols, and scientists. Like political figures, they do. We're still very we're still very influenced by the idea of Jesus, that he paid for our sins.
Yeah,
because
did you see what I was just showing about the man of sin and the voodoo doll?
Yeah. I was following that. But what I'm taking it.
Let me ask you a question, and you got the floor right back. The question you want to ask yourself is, how would anybody alive know the beginning of time? It's impossible. So you got to know it always was, and you got to know there's no creation nor no ending. So once you understand that concept, you'll be able to look into religion a little different. But you got the floor. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And we should also question what we mean when we say scientist, because a lot of people call themselves scientists, but they're nothing of the sort.
Yeah,
if you mean science, meaning knowledge.
And I don't think that being a scientist is actually a person that's saying, I want to get to the truth. Like, being a scientist today is for you to promote a certain scientific agenda that's being sponsored by the UN and the powers that be. That don't necessarily mean you're going to be dealing with the scientific method at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that is great that you say this. It was one of the notes. Basically, you have science, and this is something that we should really emphasize, which is science versus scientific method. Inside the community of science or the science community, whatever how you say, there's full of people who disagree with each other, and that happens within religion as well. So like basically you have hypotheses and theses and all kind of like non like mathematical stuff that you can break into a formula. So the problem becomes when like people say, I believe in science. When somebody says I believe in science, it's exactly the same as saying I believe in religion. Mm-hmm. Because inside the field of science, although most people yes, go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying that you spot on, because you know, when you say I believe in science, is the same as a person saying I believe in God or I believe in the Bible or religion. But if you believe in them both, you're double fucked, and you just a walking contradiction. You know what I'm saying?
To me, like, if you looking at science, the only thing you can take out of science is the math of it. Everything else is bullshit. Even a math is bullshit, but at least I can use math for the science. So everything to me is math. And you know, it adds up to a certain point. And that point should be fact. And if that point fact, then that's the truth. What scientists do is manipulate the numbers to make it their point be fact. So their numbers that they tell you is not even factual numbers, but they make them numbers up to support their fact. That's what I don't like about the trickery. You got it.
Facts.
And if you don't mind, I add to what you say.
Well said, sir.
Basically, also you get not only that this thing of the math and that they invent, but also you need to think that when you break down, like for instance, 2 + 2 is 4. That equation is pretty easy to translate into literature. So, but when it gets into like complex equations, basically, when you get into like formulas that they are very complex and you need to break them down into literature, there's gonna be a lot of information that is gonna be lost in the process. So
that
like
that motherfucking math shit try to get you away from observation, simple observations, which is like the foundation of scientific method.
Yeah, that and repeating it. Now, however,
and repeating it, yeah, but the consistent repeating don't even gotta involve math, because I don't know the math behind photosynthesis. I just know the process of it, and that if I repeat it, I could, you know what I'm saying, continue producing that result. I don't even think it's a math equation to explain photosynthesis.
So what science is, right, is basically the red tape of proving what's fact and what's not. And it don't matter like if what you proven, you can prove it is factually or not. It matters if you can make it through the red tape or not. So it's kind of like getting a loan, right? It don't matter really if you qualified for the loan or not. There's a lot of politics and redlining, and if you're a black man, I mean, not to pull the race car, I'm just saying it's kind of one of them things where it ain't really equality, the search for truth and all of that. It's really, can you follow the rituals of this consensus group? And after that, you can just spew whatever you want and we'll call it genius. Diamond planets, super earths, cosmids. Because see, they created a whole hypothetical space that don't exist in reality. It exists in mythology, in the subconscious. And in that space, they can be the reverence of their own universes and worlds and galaxies and shit where the laws of physics can behave exactly how they say. But none of that got anything to do with how reality work outside. So that's no different than a pastor telling you, well, when you get to heaven, you can fly, you'll never age, streets of gold. But hey, when I walk outside tomorrow, I can't fly and I'm gonna age. So you're selling me on something that's way beyond me, way out there, while failing to make sense out of where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? Like science spending billions of dollars on space exploration and shit when you know, for example, everybody's seeing therapists and on antidepressants and shit. So they trying to master the heavens and the stars when they ain't even mastered their society. You know, you got it just show you like the science ain't really to uplift and better the people. It's really a fucking cash cow for philosophical hand jobs and masturbation.
Well, I think they use science to control people. Like they do a lot of psychological experimentation and applied psychology and manipulation and propaganda and those types of mind control techniques. I think they're very, they're very concerned about what works and what's pragmatic and how they can actually, grab control. But then what they actually will teach us is going to be minimal and actually probably more lies than truth to get us confused and off track and distracted.
And Philly OG said the realest stuff like 2 days ago. He was like, science was cool when it was the study of nature. Once they took science past nature, it's the same. All right, let's do a recap right quick. Bro said if you believe in religion and science, you double F, right? And you want to know why? Because if and the other bull said they both say the same thing if you look at the Big Bang Theory and religion, because it's the same doctrination. They don't care which one you pick, long as they can indoctrinate you with one of them, because it's the same point. But y'all go ahead.
Said.
Yeah, that's
Well
that's
said.
what I'm.
Well
That's
said.
exactly. Yeah.
And I think that religion got so cocky that they actually just ended up calling themselves science. It kind of reorganized a bit. And then they always said that we have the whole truth, right? And we have claimed to be the arbiters of truth. And that's how they control people. But then I think people started saying, okay, let's just do experimentation. This works a lot better. And people started kind of rebelling against the church. And I think that they just hijacked that new welling of popular support
Yeah,
for
fake.
trying to figure out the truth.
Yeah, science is literally proving all of these religions, what is in these religious texts. They're trying to go through and experiment and test these things to be true. That's all science is doing right now. That's their standard
But I don't
operating
think
procedure.
they even experiment
But
that shit.
They ain't trying to test that shit to be
Right. I don't think they
true.
they're
testing
trying to
that
test
shit.
for they're testing for
Hell
the
nah.
afterlife. They're trying to test to see what happens before and after life.
But
So
listen.
That's what they tell us.
They already know.
Science ain't real.
that's what
They
science is, right?
already know. If you know that they're ahead of us by years, they've already crossed over, bro, several times. They seen. Listen, these metaverses and new universes that people gonna be uploading in with BCI, right? Brain computer interface technology. You better believe these folks already used it and crossed over and been in that shit, explored it, and you ain't gonna
And
be the
went through
first.
it. Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
what I'm
No, when they
saying
give it to
about,
us, we
like,
already know that about like the iPhone.
they're ahead
Yeah.
of us.
And they have the tech already for the next iPhone ready now. So yeah, we understand like how they disseminate technology, right? But it's still like, I mean, my point is still proving that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to actually show and prove through scientific experiment what happens once you leave your body, or if there is something that leaves your body. They just did an experiment where
Can
they
I
said
ask you a
supposedly
question?
but you don't really know that until you actually see it though. So it's still faith, what I'm saying. Like science is still based in belief, just like religion is. So that's why I say I kind of agree with the title where they are both hand in hand.
But if they
What?
do enough
So
experiments and then they just write a thesis and say we've come to the conclusion that through our experimentation there's nothing after life, even though we know that that's a lie, they got enough experimentation and so-called proof to say, hey, we've been experimenting and we ain't find nothing,
See,
so it can't be nothing.
I'm glad
but
you.
you knowing that
Hold
it's
up, hold
still
up, hold
belief
up, hold
though.
up.
It's still faith.
Hold up. Let me speak on what
Yeah, go
Bobby
ahead.
just said. I'm gonna tell you why. What? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, when we say what they trying to prove or disprove, I don't even talk like that no more, because it's like they really just trying to push their own propaganda by saying the experts confirmed it, the math backs it up, and keep triggering words like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you say they trying to prove something, really, or are we trying to prove it? Because we the ones proving the truth. They're trying to push a fucking agenda, and they're gonna be able to push it because the people that's pushing the damn truth, guess what? We don't got the title of expert, professional. But the professionals gonna come out there and they gonna, like you just said, me myself, they gonna say the same thing that the religions say. So all of the experts talk like charlatans and deacons and shit. And the niggas that they calling tinfoil hatters are the ones really breaking down the universal science around this motherfucker.
That's some
Right.
real shit.
Absolutely.
That's some
For
real
sure.
shit too.
Salute to the
Because
panel. Salute to the panel. I got a question,
go ahead, go ahead.
maybe for the panel. I noticed this about science. Maybe not the scientific method Bro Sanchez speaks about, but science is kind of diabolical from a certain aspect. Why they got to do mad experiments and sacrifice people if science was so science? Look at all the trial and error they do behind the scenes, killing people, going to Africa, using people as guinea pigs.
The
If
trials and shit.
science
Yeah.
was
I feel you.
so
In the name of
perfect,
science. In the
so
name.
Yeah.
science is kind
Animal
of
testing too. Yeah.
diabolical for real when they
Yeah.
finally, we
Yeah.
got it perfected, or look at all the diabolical schemes and shit they had to do behind the scenes so science could seem perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Like
throw on
what
top of that, they're
diabolical thing?
fabricating
friends.
they're fabricating the results too, which makes it even worse because they have a monopoly on that type of diabolical research. We can't sacrifice animals and cut them up, and nor do we want to. So they tell us, hey, we did this to 100 monkeys, and here's what we found. Our
Or a
drug works.
hundred,
Everyone needs to
or a
take it.
hundred, or a
Speaking of the
hundred, or a
monkeys,
hundred
yo.
humans,
Yeah.
or a
Hey,
hundred
Elon
humans,
Musk
or a
monkeys.
hundred
My
females.
So watch this,
Exactly.
right? Watch this, right? I was watching a scientific debate panel similar to this one, but it was way more heated, right? With a conflicting views. And one of the guys brought up scientific breakthroughs in medicine in Africa and how let's just say that the medical mafia in Ghana they had paralyzed over what 10,000 or some children. It was ridiculous numbers.
Yep.
So the person who was defending science was like, you know, science don't always get it right. That's some of the sacrifices of it. And I was thinking about like God in the Bible, how like the sacrifices made to God for understanding, for wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this same thing to where shit got to die in science and all the. That's what I'm talking about. Modern science, man gotta smash shit apart and study the pieces. But when he study the pieces, he ain't studying the thing in totality. That's like me letting you study the shattered shards of a vase, and then I'm gonna ask you about antique art. And out of the shattered fucking pieces that I just shattered on the ground, you got to understand the shit with a holistic approach. That's what the ancestors was talking about. They had an approach to the universe that was totally the opposite. The approach we got today, you got to smash it apart and destroy it to understand it. And by the time you understand it, that which you was trying to understand, it don't exist no more. So the thing is, it's a dumbass approach to reality. And it's chaotic, man. And the goal of science, right? The end goal of science ain't so that we can coexist in balance and harmony in nature. It's so that it can tame Mother Nature and all of its inhabitants. It's to create technology to control the world and the people and the environment, not to fucking make us thrive in it, not to make us thrive in the environment. So yeah.
Can
So,
you
bro,
read
Sanchez,
panel? Yo, did y'all see that mosquito? Did y'all see that mosquito? I just put the picture up in
He's
the
still
chat.
on that mosquito, man.
hey, bro, Sanchez.
Listen, that was my first time putting like a picture in the chat. But if y'all can go back there and look at that motherfucker, it's a monster, bro. I'm done now
Yeah.
for that.
Yo, let me ask you this, bro, Sanchez. You know that back in the days, how they study our stomach was because there was evil scientists that used to take corpse and people that used to get shot in the stomach to do experiments to see how the stomach worked. And then fast forward now in the future, we got the technology to kind of like know how the fuck the stomach work, and it can save lives. Do
But
you
they
think
ain't
that's
have to do
still
that.
evil?
Yeah, that's very evil because they could have took the time out to create some technology to look at the stomach like they do now without having to cut people open. But when
I
you
think,
hold on
is
real
it?
quick, K Gomez,
Go
when
ahead.
you in a rush to make so-called scientific breakthroughs to the point everybody making, you willing to so-called break a few eggs or have collateral damage. You dig what I'm saying?
No,
So
I definitely understand what you're saying.
That's the part. That's the part we talking about.
Hold on. Wait. K, I want you to look at it this way too, man. I want y'all to don't forget about this part when it comes to the medical mafia, right? When it comes to the medical mafia, right? The man with the solutions is gonna make all of the billions. But if there is no problems, we don't need his solutions. So when it comes to the medical industry, the more problems that exist, the more opportunities for me to have a solution, which means more money. So for example, right, because of that, in Western medicine, we take the most radical approaches to treatment because it creates the more problems, which allows for more solutions and money. So for example, instead of us housing a woman in a hospital so she can have a natural pregnancy, and it may take months and months and months for her to do it the natural way, then it's gonna need more staff for her to have a squat birth and do it the natural way. I mean, it's gonna take it's gonna be more easier to do it that way. It's gonna take less staff. You don't need, think about it. In nature, in a tribe, a woman pregnant just go shit a baby out by a tree. She don't got a big medical procedure. And she squat and she ain't push. She squat birth and it just pop out like the elephant. And guess what? The babies are even more mature quicker than ours. Now check this out, the crazy thing about all that. Most of our babies don't get to come out of vaginal tract. They get cut right out the stomach. You'll see a slit right on that lady baby. You coming into the world prematurely. Basically, all of us are preemies, and you don't even know it, because you know the fruit didn't have its own time to fall from the tree when it was ripe. You cut it right off when it was out. So, but the thing is this: there's something called phrenology. This is why our society is behind. Because when you don't mature properly, your birth got a lot of things to do with the forming of the cranium, all this stuff I ain't gonna get into. But what I want to tell you is cutting the baby out the stomach is like a $15,000 to $20,000 procedure, if I'm not mistaken, versus if she just have a squat birth, you really don't make no money at all, zero. Like she just came
And they promote that
you
C-section.
know what I'm saying? So you gotta think they're gonna if I'm a surgeon, right, and you come to me, I'm gonna look for a way I can cut on your ass. I don't care if something wrong or with you or not. I get paid to cut people, and I'm gonna find something to cut on you.
So the simple fact that just you gotta get caught up, that's what make it evil, or
Money.
does
Oh
the
yeah,
scientists make it
Lupus,
evil?
we definitely got that little well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I definitely have that little faith for the next person in today's society to give them that much discretion and power over me to just say that they're moralistically on the same level as me to not do harm to me. Yeah, I think in today's society that'd be making a horrible choice in discernment.
So you don't think people that like want to become doctors actually want to try helping people? They're like, nah.
I do believe that.
Let me
I got a
explain.
couple of doctors
Hey,
in my
Luke,
family.
watch this, Lubis. Watch this, Lubis. A person that joined New Orleans Police Department in the 90s, they was trying to help people, man. But guess what they found out? That they joined one of the most corrupted police departments in the 90s, in the New Orleans Police Department. The FBI had to raid them out under Operation Blue Shield. You don't think a lot of people that joined that shit was young men that said, I just want to help society? Then they became corrupted cops. They became into an organization full of bad cops all the way up to the chief of police, and they knew you better shut the fuck up and turn your head, because this is a whole big organization between the chief, the sergeants, the gangs, and you got a family, man. So we can't be naive. We don't want to be naive as to, like the rappers will tell you in their verse, we got the police on payroll. They ain't lying to your ass. Let's not be naive, okay?
Right. So they're
And I'm not
using the
saying,
people.
and listen, Lubis, I'm not saying that it's not people who get in it to not be good doctors. I don't think that's the point. I think that, to Sanchez's point, when you get in a corrupted system, it's kind of hard to not diagnose, and we've seen this time and time again, to not diagnose people with certain things because that's gonna line your pockets. To like, even when you're dealing with these fields like police, doctors, pilots, people who literally got other people's lives in their hand, it should be way more strict and stringent parameters on the positions that they get. But literally, it's literally based on if you can do the job, the mental aspect of it. I don't know what type of mental qualifications or evaluations doctors go through, but I do know we see all the time where nurses, doctors, assistants get in these positions. They might be on drugs. I just seen the documentary where a nurse killed over 18 babies. It was just a case in California where a man a male nurse just killed a bunch of people. Just
Shit, don't go that far,
his mental
Bobby.
being loose. You know what I mean? And then we ain't even gonna get into the laws of medical malpractice. Like if you're a doctor and you fucking cut something inside a person wrong, how many doctors is just gonna be like, yo, I fucked up? They might just stitch you back up and act like nothing fucking happened. You dig what I'm saying? That's where
So,
it get into
okay,
the
so
moralistic.
so y'all saying the practice itself?
No, I'm not saying the practice itself. I'm saying that it's still an individual level of discernment that we missing. We're giving this
Okay, now I
we're
understand what
giving
you're
a
saying.
general overview.
You know what's going on, Bobby? They looking for good people in an evil system.
I keep saying that. Right, the system itself is corrupt, so it's like to give that much leeway to a person to feel like they wouldn't harm you. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Right,
we're
right.
not in a world of roses. I'm not gonna walk through an alley at night. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? How they say get a second and third opinion. That's real. What if I go to a doctor and he say, yo, I need to cut on you. Then you go to the next doctor and they say, nah, that ain't nothing that need to operate. You just need to get some rest. And all. Then you like, damn, why this other doctor said I need a $50,000 surgery then? We've seen these things all the time.
Listen. I ain't trying to say that I'm looking for good people in the system. I just wanted to know what your opinion about the practice of it. You feel me? So
It's more
that's all I
corrupt than
wanted
it's
to know.
good. It's more corrupt than
I gotta
evil than it's good. So even if the corruption is 51-49, once the scales tip in the balance of corruption, you literally setting yourself out there with doctors who giving you like life percentage chances on fucking like a nigga sit you down before they cut on you, say, yo, this 30-40%. Like, yo, what it like they Charlie, you feel me?
We
Like,
got to know this.
I
We got
got
to
a question.
remember
I
this.
got a
We got
question
to
to the
remember
panel.
this. Hold up. We got to remember this
Make
right
you
here.
sign
This
off on
system
that
right here.
shit.
Hold up. This system right here was created by psychos. All right. You
By
get what I'm saying?
psychos?
Yeah. The medical system was
Wait a
created
minute,
by.
Lubis, you don't agree with that?
No, I didn't hear what he said. So,
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, I was saying the medical system itself was created by psychos. I mean, the type of
I have a
shit
question.
that they. Huh?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, dude.
maybe it's a statement and a question. So think of it like a game. So when I was growing up, true story, bro Sanchez, I always asked my mother. So like you said, grew up 7-day Adventist. My mom's, like, Mom, how come all the people in the hospital?
Love you.
Ma, how come all the people in the hospital wear the same emblem no matter where they're at all over the world? What group has the two Kundalini snakes and emblem? Do you know she always gave me this glare and just said, just listen to them. Dog, the medical field like a big gang. No matter what country, creed, all of them have the same emblem. I digress.
And look, and your
Rockefeller.
grandma knew. I'm gonna give it right to you, bro. I swear it's like 8 seconds. Your grandma knew from that era they ain't fuck with them hospitals. It's a money thing. Don't you know they'll perform surgery on you so they can finish paying off their loan? So they'll say, yeah, you need surgery, you need scoliosis surgery. We're gonna put some iron plates in your spine, and it really you don't need it. And just they do it just to get the money. But go ahead, that was longer.
I mean, and they were pushing. They were pushing. Hold up. They were pushing. They were pushing when Marcus Garvey. When Marcus Garvey came here, they was pushing that shit on us then. I mean, it's their agenda. They was using people that look like us to push the shit. So, I mean, all that shit that come from them ain't good, man.
Well, look at it like this too, real truth. I'm a baby from the 80s, so I remember growing up to be like the Huxtables and shit, to be a doctor, like the way it was expressed, like I grew up wanting to be a doctor because I want to save lives. I want to, you know what I'm saying, find a cure for cancer. I want to cure people with their diabetes and all. It was like this, moralistic standpoint from it. To today and for a long time, when you hear about people want to be doctors, it's like, yo, man, that's 100,000. You come in making 100,000, then you gonna make 200,000 out the other. Like the whole premise of going into these fields is money driven.
You know what's crazy though? I'm gonna tell you some real shit, right? I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. Doctors make a lot of money, but boy, it's some hard work. Believe it or not, man, it's hard work. And check it out, right? I think it's a lot on your conscience too. They pay you all that money because just say somebody die in your practice because you went up the par that day or whatever. You gonna live with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people get into that shit for money, and that's how you get a lot of these doctors that be cracking prescriptions for niggas. They had a doctor in Louisiana. She was a chick. Every damn dope boy who was selling OCs was getting they shit from her in the state, nigga. She had got bigger than a motherfucker. All right, so
yeah.
Even on a smaller scale, man, on that regret, right? There's doctors that's giving that left hook, right? and they know it ain't right. And they looking like, man, everybody that get a blood clot is on their conscience. Yeah, you right. They got to live with that. But go ahead.
Hey,
Y'all got it.
hey, when they
True
go,
story.
when
I
they
had a doctor
when
with a
you go see a
conscience.
doctor these days, man, I'm telling you, they don't even be in there that much. They come in, they ask you a few questions, they write that prescription, they the fuck out of there, bro.
True
Legal
story,
drug
man. My
dealer.
daughter. True story. My daughter had colicky. This doctor got a conscience. True story. Just like y'all saying. I was so fucking mad. My daughter ain't shit for 2 days when she was like 6 months. Me and my wife at the time was taking her back to the hospital. They changed her formula. I was cussing at this doctor. I was like, Doc, what's wrong? What's wrong with my daughter? Dude, this what he did. Do you know when you about to say something you don't want nobody to say? He pulled me close to him and looked left, right, and said, where you live at? Go to this West Indian store. Go in there. It's a Hispanic Jamaican store. Go in there and get this white substance. Dude, he broke his oath to the thing. For 2 months, he just kept on giving us this, giving her medication, giving her this. And I kept on screaming at him. Dog, he pulled me in the next room and did the little left, right. It's almost like he broke the code and told me to go get. As soon as I gave my daughter a tablespoon of this stuff from a West Indian store, some white clear, I forgot what it was.
Sounds like
As soon as she drank it, an hour later she was better. And she was sick for 2 motherfucking months, changing her shit around based on what he said and all the shit and all that. He broke the code. So yeah, you're right. Some doctors do get a conscience. They do break that code, but all of them in the secret society, man.
Hey, let me say this real fast, right? So like, Bro Sanchez was like real with that, right? Because I was like 7 years old when they took my tonsils, right? And I remember when I was like 9 years old, it came to me. I was like, "Hey, Mom, where's my tonsils at?" And she's like, "Oh, baby, you got your tonsils taken." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but where are they? Like, they just took them out and threw them away? Like, that's what I said. Like, did they just take them out and throw them away? We know damn well they didn't do that, right?" So you got to understand that, like, the pharmaceutical and the doctors and surgeries and all that shit. That's like one of the main sources for melanin extraction. You feel me?
What about the placenta? What about they do the same thing with the placenta?
Really, it's just stem cell and growing new tissue and stuff. They do it for
But you
all
ain't got to
different
get them.
treatments,
You
yeah,
don't have to get them that shit, man.
I told y'all though.
All bio.
I told y'all, right? I got a gift, a donation for who can really explain to me what melanin it is, where it is, and how can I buy me a bottle of it right here, right now.
You want to buy? Now that's the problem. We're gonna have a problem with. But I can explain what it is and what it do.
Hey, bro, Sanchez, can I explain melatonin? I can explain that one.
Melatonin is the shit. Everybody produces melatonin and
Right.
serotonin.
Hey, man,
I was just trying to get that gift real quick, Bobby.
But my thing is this though. Wait a minute.
I'm
If
gonna
we
have
focus
smoke with
on,
all y'all. I'm gonna have smoke with any fake ass nigga dropping YouTube knowledge tonight.
because they giving that shit. They pulling that shit
right off the
Listen,
smoke.
they pulling that shit out of any child, black, white, or whatever. If that's the case, and the point of the hospital. That's what I'm saying. We can't prove that shit. We just dealing with plasma and blood at that point. We know plasma exists and we know blood exists.
Watch this, right? Here's the truth, right? What they calling melanin and melatonin, right? It don't exist as anything in the physical spectrum, like solid, liquid, gas, or nothing like that. So that's why I say I can't get a bottle of it. And to back me up, I'm gonna read to y'all what it say. Melatonin is a hormone that your brain produces in response to darkness. Now watch this. It helps with the timing of your circadian rhythms. You know what that is? And with sleep, it's the internal clock. That means when it's nighttime outside, how your body start mellowing out. That's why it's called melanin. It's dealing with mellow energy, the dark energy that mellows you out when it's time to go to sleep and shit. So my thing is, that ain't no hormone or nothing that you can squirt out of a nigga. That is literally a rhythm. That's why they talking about the circadian rhythm right here. That is literally a vibration. And if you can show me how you put that in a bottle, I'm finna buy some right now. That's why I said what I said.
Hold on, so they be scamming niggas there with the
So why do
melatonin too?
Yo, so
No,
why do they have
go
like a
for it.
list?
hold
Go
on,
for
bro.
it.
Hey,
Hold
dig
on.
this.
Bro,
So why do
listen,
they have
listen,
like a list?
listen,
Let me
Silas,
say
listen
this
to
right
me.
quick. Hold
It's
on, you
the same
listen
way.
right
Hold
quick.
on, real quick, drop. It's the same way
No,
they tell you it's solar energy, but that ain't nothing but heat being produced. You dig what I'm saying? When you say melatonin, to Sanchez's point, is nothing but them giving you a chemical to to give you a false synthesize and activation of that gland to produce melanin. The melanin is not in that motherfucking melatonin is not in that bottle. What's in that bottle is some shit that's stimulating your melatonin glands, and you overproducing melanin.
Right,
And
that's
that's
that's like
facts.
that's
Now
like
listen, hold
painkiller,
on,
right?
hold on,
Melatonin,
When you
listen,
excuse
use
me.
listen.
when you use
Hold
when you
on,
use
listen, bro.
painkillers,
Y'all
you
going
use it
to the
because you don't
point.
want the pain to be there, but it's your body regenerating yourself. It's not the painkiller, really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like
Regenerating
alkaline.
your
Now
thing.
listen
It's
right
it's
quick.
yourself.
Melatonin,
Let me say this. Hey,
alkaline.
Tone, what the
Painkiller, the painkiller ain't nothing but a
These
chemical
niggas.
that
Oh,
that 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 stimulates that part of your brain that activates the pain and tell it to numb down. It's
all right,
not
now
killing
that's
pain. It's just shutting off
Like
that part of
insulin.
your body that feel that.
Mhm.
Yo,
I just
DJ,
what I
Man,
want
a
to
yo,
say
lot of
is
check.
motherfuckers
this.
think that the painkiller would like
See,
regenerate you and
painkillers,
shit. That's
listen,
Hey,
not
it
true.
affects to the
yo, can we check the
melatonin.
chat
Hold
real
on, bro.
fast?
I got the mic right quick, bro. I'm giving it right to you, the dude I just cut off. I got the
Man,
mic. This is getting ridiculous, and I'm too
yeah,
cool
it's a
for
lot of
that.
cap.
But here's what we saying now on the melatonin, right? When he said it's the vibration, it's that and the third. This is why they give melatonin to people to go to sleep. That's what it's for. It's not pigment.
Now
It's not
watch this,
none of
right?
that.
Let me share some with y'all. When you say melatonin, is two words: mellow, energy, and a tone, which is vibration, tone, frequency. But check this out, right? When they give a person melatonin, they're not giving them the stuff that's secreted by by the brain or the pineal gland. They giving them a cocktail of herbs and chemicals that's gonna help their own body get in alignment with the circadian rhythm. It ain't like the melatonin got melanin in it. That's what people is confusing. What they saying is the medicine is gonna put your body on a mellow tone, vibration. If you look what's in it, you won't read melanin. But in the conscious community, you get all of these conspiracies and pseudoisms going on out there, man.
Hey, so
They
let me
drop
ask
a
y'all this
bomb
question.
on
Let
me.
me ask y'all this question. Hey, hold this mic real fast. Hold on real fast. Yo, hold on real fast. Yo, so let me ask you this question. What is the concept? And I don't want to confuse in this conversation melanin and melatonin because I understand those are two totally different things. But I'm talking about melanin specifically. What is the concept of melanin being in computer chips if it's not a physical concept?
Okay, I got you right now. Melanin ain't in computer chips. So I don't know who told you that, but that's funny than a motherfucker right there, man. So 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 watch this, right? Let me share something with you. Yeah, everybody's muted right now because I'm answering you. Watch this, right? Show you what melanin is, what they talking about secreted by the brain. It's the force field around the body is what can protect you or not protect you from harmful energy. I ain't gonna even say UV radiation. This force field around the body. This means that if you don't have the right mental energy and auric energy, you have a cancerous vibration. It's either acid or alkaline, as some call it. And if you in a cancerous state of thinking, it starts from the inside out, mind over matter, then you automatically are running a program of destruction and cancer. I'm saying you got to change your mind in order to change your body. Hold on a second real quick. I'm getting some feedback over here, bro. Yeah, so only thing I'm saying is, man, like what they calling melanin, or like people who got a good, who's in tune and got a good, healthy, sane mind, they don't need none of these substances and outer shit to help them sleep and do all this. That's the luxury of being in a good, healthy mind, body, and spirit. But people who don't, like, it's all vibrational. Tesla said it. If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. Everything starts right here with this energy field. Depending on how strong that your magnetic energy field is, depending on what diseases and viruses can be in your body or not. And listen, this mean think about it. You'll be a person this don't got nothing to do with necessarily your diet, what you eating, and none of that shit. It's all about what they calling your immune system, your defense system against foreign viruses. Now, if you drinking or drinking consistently, all that, you may have organ damage in the liver, or you don't drink enough water, boom. But I'm saying that'll be some organ failure type shit that you cause based upon you not consuming the right shit. But some people can go through this whole life and they won't get sick that much. Like if you look at they sick sheet, you'll see that they probably got broken bones or other shit going, but they ain't always sick as hell. That's what I'm saying. Your vibration, right? Like how the frequency of your body dictates which cymatic entities can be manifested within your energy field or not. You see what I'm saying,
bro? If I might add to what you say, I have a personal experience into this. My family is divided into two sides. One is like really atheistic and scientism, and the other is actually like very Catholic and religious. And one of the in my personal story, my mother's side, which is the atheistic religion, the atheistic one, which like they also like watch a lot of news, but they actually eat good food, like they try to eat organic, and they try not to feed me with like sweets and processed food as a child and everything. They all get dementia and die early. They got cancer. And my grandmother from the other side, which is like a person that has a very high sense of humor, for instance, and she ate chocolate all her life and like all things that are considered like really bad. She's 98 years old and still, she's good. My other grandmother are at about like 70 something already. She lost it. My mother, she has dementia already. She got it around she was 60 years old. And these are the ones that they are supposed to eat healthy food and organic and not feed me with shit. And the other, my grandmother, that she does all the opposite, but she has a very good sense of humor. She tried not to watch the news to not be affected by all this negativity and stuff. She's still alive at 98. And
because that food make her happy. Being happy matters more than just being healthy. Or so-called healthy, because if they was eating that organic healthy shit and it wasn't making them happy, then they should have been cooking what make them happy.
Only thing I'm saying is this, y'all. Melatonin, some bullshit. And if anybody take melatonin, something wrong. God don't love you. I'm gonna tell you why God don't love you. Because melatonin is some shit that you need in your body for your body to be on board with the natural rhythm of nature, my nigga. And I hate, listen, let me not do that, because somebody out there may be having problems. I made them feel bad, but I'm just saying, yo, something going on. It starts in the mind. Like like a lot of folks, they in their own mind, they creating a hell, right? And so they need all of this melatonin shit like that to help them quiet themselves down where they can sleep and do all this stuff, sleep medications, all that. But the only thing I'm saying is, it ain't the really proper way to deal with it. But this way society making us deal with it. I'm
gonna add something with you, Sanchez.
One thing, and I'm a yield. Melatonin and melanin, we got to talk about them. Go ahead. I'm going to show y'all what they is and what they ain't.
Yeah, what I wanted to add with you is that we didn't start seeing the I didn't start seeing melatonin being advertised highly until this graveyard shift became like a normal work schedule. You know what I mean? A lot of people work the graveyard shift, a lot of nurses, doctors, truckers, and from somebody personally who worked the graveyard shift for about a year and a half, it fucks with your mental. You become, and this is something that they, you know what I'm saying, they, whoever that they is, have studied, you know what I'm saying, that people who work the graveyard shift are usually more irritable, more lethargic, depressed. It really do fuck with your circadian rhythm. Like, so you know what I'm talking about, Sanchez. You become an asshole on that graveyard shift.
Let me tell you something. When you work the graveyard shift, right? When you're woke, it's night, it's in them wee hours of the night where the whole world is shut down and you can feel the collective energy of everybody being asleep but you, right? In the daytime, when you sleepy as fuck, you can feel the whole world waking up around you. And it's like, I'm tired as fuck and I can't go participate in that beautiful sunlight with the world coming to light. And then when I wake up, it's dark again. Now I was a graveyard shift worker for years, and not only that, I was making these dark ass trap beats too. So I wasn't getting a lot of daylight, and I was getting a lot of gloomy trap energy and nighttime energy, and that shit gave me like a whole nother entity in me, like a Sasha Fierce for Beyonce.
You develop a different personality. Yeah, you become more irritable. Like, that's a real thing, and it fuck with your circadian rhythm.
Nah, that shit had me
during the day.
Guess what's so crazy about it, right? It made me to where when people want to holler at me and talk to me, I'm tired and grumpy, leave me alone. And then when I'm up, everybody else sleeping, don't want to be fucked with. So it puts you in this little isolated little world. It's weird. I'm glad y'all
right,
got me
like
doing
you're
YouTube,
isolated
man.
from society. You don't even have no outside connection because you're always sleeping when everybody's up and doing things and
But
activities.
I loved it. I loved it.
Well,
though. It's
suppose
crazy.
you like the
like
night.
I
Suppose you
like,
like the night.
I love the
Suppose
night
you like
shift
the
though.
night. Suppose you like the nocturnal.
I don't like it at
I
all, man. I
did
ain't
though,
even
Dean.
gonna lie.
I did.
I love this.
women are
I
giving
love it.
babies.
You want to know why?
Listen to what I'm
You want to know
saying.
why? You want to know why? Because I had night friends. I had nocturnal friends.
Listen to what I'm saying though, Dean. It has its benefits because during that what they call the waking hour, like that 10 to 4 a.m., that's when your mind is the most creative. So like Sanchez saying, as a beat maker, nigga, around 12, from 12 to 4, and I'm down in that motherfucking lab cooking. That's when I'm cooking up the most cooked up shit.
Yep.
And to the point to where when I come back into it in the morning, I be like, damn, when I cook up these little skeletons and shit, this shit it's like it's different from me.
You know what's
That
crazy
got something to do
about
with
it?
the moon.
You know what's crazy? It's like, I'm gonna tell you what it is. We can concentrate more the quieter it is around us. And we don't realize that during the daytime it's noisier. We don't hear the noise in our environment for real. But really, I'm telling you, as a nigga who worked overnight a lot, it's like in them wee hours, you reach a point where it's like, damn near the world is shut down, nigga, right? It's this space, right? To where it's just quiet as hell. Ain't a lot of activity. It's just, and it's a good place to create from, no cap. That's why niggas lock in and shit
Facts.
in the studio.
True story. Living in the city, my pops taught me how to drive at night when there ain't no cars on the street. The city was more quiet. He said, you want to go driving? Yeah. He waited till night when the city was quiet. And everybody
that's how I learned how to drive too in Chicago. I ain't gonna count.
Quiet at night back in the 80s. And the city, that's when, like Sanchez said, you can hear more. But I think it has something to do with the sun, y'all. As much as we like the night, we do love the day, but the night at certain times of the year, it's beautiful, man. I love it. Like you said, you get more energy. You get more creative energy at certain parts of the study of Zodiac.
Now, do y'all mind if I straight up mop the fucking floor with melanin and melatonin and put the nail in the coffin?
For sure, man. We can go back, man. That's some clown shit from the street level,
Watch
y'all.
this.
Y'all YouTube
Watch this.
people, I'm disappointed, man.
Watch this shit. Let's read. Watch this shit, y'all. Read with me. Melatonin is a natural compound, specifically an ideolamine, produced by and found in different organisms, including bacteria and eukaryotes. It was discovered by Aaron B. Lerner and colleagues in 1958. Now, here we go. As a substance of the pineal gland. Keep reading. Keep reading, though. Keep reading. From who? From who? From cow. That could induce skin lightening in common frogs. Why the fuck are humans telling me about substance coming from their pineal gland when the man who discovered this shit only found it in the cow, not the human? I want to know that. See, that backs me up. That's why I said you can't find no, and I'm so bold with it. I said, show me melanin or melatonin coming from a human. Show me where I can buy it in a bottle. Show me
Here go the cold part,
show me the
Sanchez.
shit secreting from the brain. Bro, I've been doing it for years. They can't show me because they don't know this is something that's only limited to cows. But I'm gonna stop.
Now, when I say synthetic, hold on real quick, Ding. Hold on. When I say synthetic, right? Obviously, they looked at this compound and had to kind of synthesize it, because now I'm looking at the other dagger. If the biological half-life, like that means once you get this shit extracted and it's in air, if the biological half-life is 20 to fucking 50 minutes, you getting dead melatonin in the pill? Like, what is they? This
God.
shit outside the body only lasts 50 minutes?
Oh God! Hey Bobby, check this out too. That's the same thing they do. Remember when they put jab on motherfuckers, they put it first on mouse and mice and all types of shit. And then now we find out that there's mice particles or whatever on the jab too, because they know that shit don't work with us, but they want to put the mice gene in us so it can work with us, because they've been starting with the mice for so long. They be doing with the mice for so long that they can figure us out. You know what I'm saying? So they do it with the mouse, with the mice and the mouses. They put all these jabs to see if it works for them, and then put it on us. Nigga, how the fuck you think that's gonna work with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a whole human being, bro.
Hey Bobby. This is the funny part I tell my people. You know why what you just said ain't popular, Bobby? Because it's a drift out there making about $50 million off melatonin pills, mad at niggas like us tonight. I'm
telling you, guess what they say, man.
Laughing.
They say
mad at us tonight.
They say that when you using these melatonin and melanin-based products, it enhance your black skin. They got all kind of hustles with it. Literature, books written on it about how we produce more melanin than other people. And I'm here today to tell you melanin is pseudoscience, and you can't prove that it exists. Why does science want us to think that melanin exists? Because they need a substance to explain diversity. You know, the same diversity that they use to say that evolution was the process that brought forth diversity among humanity. Now they gotta go on a biological level and have a hormone or some kind of cell in us that's responsible. Because when you say, well, look, all humans are different races, they get that way through evolution, with black folks being first. That's easy to say. But when I start asking you how that looks on a biological level, now you got to produce a hormone, a cell or something in the body that is going in me and giving me my color and making me a black man. And y'all believe that shit. When a goddamn white boy that's born and raised in Compton might act more black than you. If you're a black man born in Bel Air like Carlton Banks and Fresh Prince, the white boy get to say nigger, and you may say, hey, my nigger, and they might slap your black ass. And you from Bel Air. And the white boy pledged 60s and shit. Hey, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's just showing you that melanin don't give you your goddamn culture. TV do, hip hop do, society do, and they got to now say that it's a hormone in you that made you get your swagger as a black man, and that give you your skin tone, and you can jump high and dribble and shit. Bro, if y'all don't cut that shit out, pseudo all day. I'm gonna slay it. Let's go.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. And niggas
I
be thinking
said
they be
definitely
dropping
pseudo.
knowledge. That shit.
I believe that even white people have melanin. It's just that black people have
Yes.
more of it.
Yes.
I think.
White people have melanin. Yeah. I got white people in my family.
What
yeah.
black people? Wait a minute. Still, that's still creating this thing that nigga, a dark skinned nigga like me. Just because I'm darker than everybody, I got some extra melanin in me. How the fuck can y'all prove that? How can that be proven? That just mean I got a different skin tone than you. What the fuck that got to do?
Guess what they say, Bobby? Guess what they say? They say the blacker a person is, the more physically fit they are than you. Like you can't have like you can't have a 400-pound obese jet black motherfucker with all that melanin or something. Like, you know,
ain't no nigga up here colder than Dirk Nowitzki. Any nigga in the chat
Larry
right
Bird,
now that want to move
no
against that big white German, I got my money on Dirk. Now what?
Dirk.
Oh God,
Yeah,
like Larry Bird, bro. That's what I'm about to say, bro. You talk about, man, Larry Bird was as Larry as fuck too. You feel me?
Man,
So what the fuck these niggas talk about?
Fucked us up, man. Back in the day, black nationalism, black pride. We ain't no superheroes, man. We curse, spit, defame each other character. We ain't no better until you get better. Black nationalism. Oh, black is better. Nah. It's individual.
Well, it's what Patrice O'Neal said though. You could preach some good black power, white power, Asian power shit. You could preach that. The minute you get to talking about we all need to come together and what we they coming after you. They coming after you. You a problem.
I know that firsthand.
I'm telling you like this. I'm from the west side of Chicago. My motherfucking pops was down with the Black Panthers young when Fred Hampton grew up around the corner from where I lived at. Fred Hampton didn't get killed because he was a Black Panther. He got killed when he made that poor white people movement, poor Italian people. When he started saying, fuck it, if you poor and they stepping on your neck, come on. And when he got poor white people to rock with him and poor black people and poor Italians and Chinese, they say, no, this nigga's a problem. He a problem.
Kind of like what happened with Malcolm X.
That's what I'm talking
Just
about.
Like that.
The thing is like,
you're a problem.
It's all about divide and conquer, man. And the person that's trying to unite the masses, if they already programmed to pick a side, that's the Hegelian dialectic too, like black versus white, this versus that. And when you talk about divide and conquer, I'm finna give y'all a real-time scenario and segue into like another topic I wanted to build on of how they divide and conquer. And this gonna hit home. Now, let me check this out, right? So, boom. Let's go here. So everybody is like, even Tariq Nasheed, happy that Trump is always gonna do something about the border crisis. And it's like history keep repeating itself. We don't get the game. They make the borders vulnerable. Now, right around a new election coming up where Trump running, it all of a sudden it's a new problem for him to solve, Batman and Superman. Wasn't no border problems until this new election time where Trump running again. Now we got a border crisis and Trump whole campaign is about, I'm gonna lock these borders down and keep them out. And my thing is this right here, right? If you gotta elect a person in office to do this kind of shit, it show you the game being ran on us. When you talk about divide and conquer, right? This gonna be the people that's saying we with Trump and we with this because, you know, we need to protect our borders versus the people that's like, it's all a game and all that shit. But what I want to segue into is this topic right here because I see what this kind of psyop and propaganda do, right? A lot of folks think that they're so smart and American-like and, you know, listen, man, we gotta protect the borders and this and shit like that, and keep these folks out, the immigrants out, all that shit. I get it. I get the whole fuss, but I get that it's a big ass game though. So what I wanted to talk about today was, I think that the whole border shit with all the people at these borders, it's a big old like circus act. Is planned, it's orchestrated. Remember the last border event, one of them Trump events, where we can prove that they thought the cameras was off and they was staging it and propping it and shit. That shit went viral, showing you that a lot of this shit be just propaganda that these folks be putting out there to present a problem that they can be the hero for, and the problem don't even really exist. That may sound crazy, but check this out, right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Because everybody talking about this border shit and how dangerous it is for black folks and how we need to get behind Trump, because when they we ain't got, like Tariq was saying, they don't give us benefits and reparations and shit. Then they'll let all of these immigrants in here and start giving them all kind of benefits and perks. But guess what I thought about when Tariq was saying that? I was thinking about how, like, instead of us really fighting for what's rightfully ours, they would make us fight more to stop another group for getting what's rightfully ours. And neither group will really get shit in the end any goddamn way. And I see that all the time, where it's like, just say a pimp got some hoes, and the pimp tell his main one to compete with the other ones for something that's rightfully hers, because she held him down, took charges for him, hid dope, all that shit. She should get it, but he gonna make it like she gotta compete for it with these other hoes. And that's what America doing to you, because it's like, you owe us this shit. It's our reparations and shit. But America will create a situation where they will dangle your shit over another group's face and make you fight the other group. Just like the pimp will make the hoes fight each other. Here, you see what I'm saying? The same game. Like, now black folks like, well, no, now we got to go after these immigrants because they're gonna get our shit. That's the main bitch, right? Telling the pimp, now she finna fuck one of these other hoes up, right? Cause the pimp dangling what's rightfully hers over the new bitch. And she the fucking main bitch. I built this country. My people built this shit. We been here and we the main hoe. And now you dangling our shit over these hoes just showed up. They just came in the border. And so now, instead of us checking the pimp, guess what the main bitch do? Go and grab that new bitch by the hair, and that works out for the pimp every time. I don't get how Tariq Nasheed don't see that when he wrote books on pimping.
Yeah, right, bro.
I don't get how Tariq Nasheed don't see that, and he wrote books on pimping, and I fuck with him though. Talk to me, y'all. What's
man,
good?
nigga, that border shit is
Facts.
crazy, bro. And you notice how most of them they look like us now. They look like they from Africa or, other parts or other places besides south of the border. You see how many tens of thousands of them was under that bridge a few months ago in Texas? None of them were Mexican. So something different, something crazy is going on right now besides what they actually telling us for sure. But
Salute to the panel.
What-
Salute to the panel. This is what I really think it
salute,
is.
bro.
Hold on. Give me a
Salute.
minute. Give me a minute.
Go ahead.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Salute to the panel. Hey, y'all. Think about the whole thing like this, man. I'm gonna be realistic. Think of the United States as a corporation, and over the last 20 years, their troops, their workers decided they want to be ballers, rappers, and guess what? They said we gonna get us some new niggas. Dog, they shaking the dead leaves off the trees. They leave the borders open. India, the tech company, jobs that y'all niggas don't want to do, get your hands dirty. They don't give a fuck about y'all niggas. They want some new niggas. If you don't have a social security number and file a W-4, you ain't on the grid. They shaking off every dead leaf in America. They get new niggas. So they need the
it's like a
borders
new
open.
slave trade, man.
Because this is America is a corporation. Just think of it like it's the NFL. They need new recruits. You got a job now, but it's 5 niggas waiting to get your one job. Think of it like this. So my wife looked at the NBA and said, "Hey, baby, I don't see a lot of black people playing the NBA." I said, "Baby, you don't know what you talking about, but she do know what she's talking about." They get new niggas. Y'all want to be rappers. Y'all want to do media jobs. They go out. They outsource. They outsource tech. They outsource mine jobs too. Most of the minds that made all the tech came from where? Immigrants. iPhone, Apple, all of them came here, went to school. Immigrants is the new workforce. Y'all 400 years been here, niggas. Y'all played out. And I mean,
it's under new ownership too.
So I'm pulling rank. Y'all played out. Y'all waiting for 40 acres and a mule. That shit played out. Man, fuck y'all. New niggas. Red niggas, light-skinned niggas, new niggas. Fuck y'all. That's what America's saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not. They run this shit like a business. If you ain't on board, they gonna shake the dead leaves off. Y'all,
let me answer real quick to me myself real quick. Cause I gotta answer this real quick, so I don't want this to go under the water too. Gypsies, Arabic, and I think it's South Africa. From South Africa, a lot of motherfuckers from over there migrate to Mexico, and then they migrate to the United States too. You know what I mean?
Yo, check it out.
For sure, transatlantic slave.
My daughter graduated.
Let that man talk. Let that man talk.
My daughter graduated from a black school in Baltimore County, okay? Black school. So I went to the graduation. I already know what that shit's about, but I'm proud of my daughter. Bam, right? So I got to looking at the thing, you know, we got all the children names on it. Start seeing these long ass names on the thing. Man, yo, 80-something% of the children were African names, second generation, bro.
There you go.
You wouldn't even fucking realize. I'm like, yo, they
y'all playing out like a Betamax. Y'all playing out like a VHS tape. The niggas is playing out the fake niggas dropping knowledge on YouTube in their mama motherfucking basement talking shit. Y'all niggas playing out y'all know by name. Bro Sanchez be beating and teaching them fake ass niggas.
It's deeper than that.
They playing out.
Bro, it's deeper than that. Check it out. The new
they
white
playing
people.
Out.
The new white people are the Ukrainians and the other people from the countries.
I like how you did that. That's a good way to get the mic. Check it out. If you look at anybody's race, right, and they look into their race, everybody is at the top. I'm trying to tell you they united. So if you say you Roman, right, and you just look back into your shit, you did great things. If you black, you did great things. If everybody did great things, they all came together to have us discuss what they doing to us. You understand it? But y'all got it.
On top of that, we still ain't caught on to sticking together, which has basically been our worst enemy. Just us not sticking together, not coming together for shit. And then, like I said earlier,
come together, they threaten
look
you
like
death.
Hey, but motherfuckers that look like
They
you be
kill
the
us,
fucking
man.
primary ones that break
They
all that
straight up
shit up
kill
from
blacks.
the bottom.
Is there anybody on the call like with smoke? Any Christians, any melanin advocates, any of that shit? We just want to make sure.
You already know what it is. I put in the back jump right now. Hey, listen,
hey, I don't got smoke, but I got a question.
All right, well, I got a little light smoke. Google melanin in melanocytes for me in melanosomes. This is the process of how science, just like in public, we did this months ago. What science tells us about how grass is green is what melanin is. It's what light.
No, it's not.
Metabolic pathways.
Because listen,
not
wait a minute.
But melanin.
Wait a minute. When they talk about why grass is green, that's talking about chlorophyll, chloroplast, photosynthesis. That ain't
we can believe it or not.
But listen, we can believe melanin or not. That was my whole point. My whole point was the whole shit is like Ripley's, believe it or not, instead of prove the shit to be true or not.
No, you didn't use replays, bro.
Now listen. Here was my original point, right? That was my original point, that it's still belief science and these books that y'all think everybody believes in. So in the middle is people who are just not doing any experiments, because if we think about what we got to do to figure out what makes grass green, you see what I'm saying? We have to go to school for that, and you have to believe that what they're teaching you is true. So this is what I'm saying. What they're teaching us about what melanin is not what melatonin is or what y'all are trying to make it. It's the process of light giving you your hue as a human being.
Okay, so but that ain't what they saying. What I'm telling you, you're doing, you're taking a pseudo ideology that they created and making it with a real thing that you've observed. And I wouldn't do that if I was you, because if I shoot down melanin, your fire ideology may get shot down with it, when really you was coming with some shit way smarter than they dumb asses. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I am, and I still am. And my whole point is still, until
so
we
I want to align my
experiments,
ideology with the melatonin and melanin joint. That's what I was saying with you, but you can, and then it's gonna be for.
Okay, I get it. All right. Well, here's why I do that, because what we're talking about links into everything. And don't let me forget about the Schumann resonance spike over Russia that happened on the 23rd, along with all the other 23rd.
You're not talking about melanin when you talk about that.
Into light. Listen, I am. I'm connecting it right now. Melanin. It has to do with light and us receiving light from the sun.
How does the Schumann resonance? Because check this out, right?
Because it's the vibration.
The Schumann resonance got something to do with us receiving the inner light of our own third eye. That's why they compare melanin with the third eye and pineal gland. But its relation to the sun ain't got nothing to do with that yellow thing in your daytime sky. It was originally dealing with the third eye, which is Polaris. The sun and the moon are like your left and right eye. But Polaris is your third eye. It's above and in the middle of both of them, and they both are revolving around it. What the reality you take into your two eyes, it's being put together by your third eye. So it ain't about duality or the two eyes or the sun or the moon. It's about Polaris and the third eye. The mind is what I'm telling you about this whole melanin thing that they bent out of shape. And it ain't the word melanin, it's the word melody. And they sang a song called Melodies from Heaven Rain Down on Me. It's the fact that when the Most High Self, these melodies are frequencies from the Most High Self, which is in the crown, the third eye. Once that open up, you become who you really supposed to be. Those are the melodies that rain down, and it unlocks your true potential and all that shit. But see, they try to say that you got. They try to say you need to unlock your melanin power and all your black power and all that. And I'm like, no, that's your George Soros social programming, dribbling balls and balling fists up and shit. When you really unlock your true soul power in you, it's gonna supersede every race on earth and every culture, and it's gonna be something only that you can offer to the world. But I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay, for sure. And just to go off of, I forget the term, crown. This is literally what they're saying. These rays and radiational vibrations are coming from that creates our Earth's Schumann resonance, right? And this is what they have data that measures this stuff all day, every day. And I sent you a link of one of the dudes via graphics Google, and and they got measurements, right? Like they can scalar waves or sonar waves, right? They have these type of technologies. I've never played with them, so I've never seen them. So I would have to just believe that they're showing us what they're measuring.
You don't just have to believe, brother. You don't have to.
I know, but I feel like right now it's like, okay, so
me myself.
We want to believe. We want to believe.
So what they're saying in science right now is that this spike is from those solar radiation waves, right?
I know what they're saying.
And they're also
bunch of malarkey.
And they're also saying that these Schumann resonanceal waves, right? If we are light and we consist of light, like we always talk about on this channel.
I want to know what you're saying.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I agree with this. I'm speaking all the things that I've come to understand right now, right?
Let me say my
right now,
I think you be dropping knowledge.
Yeah, but listen, give me a few more seconds, then y'all can go.
You telling me what they saying, but not what they proving.
This is
but
my
you
opinion.
can go ahead.
Based off what they're saying.
He say, she say.
Based off what they're saying, right? In
He
science.
say, she say.
Now, when you read these things, right, and comprehend them,
see, let me tell you something about people. People will say, you know, we don't get into he said, she said. So a person will say, well, look, they'll say, well, science said. And I'd be like, man, hey, the ancestors said. Fuck, if you want to debate what they said versus science said, let me myself engage into the smoke now.
You already know. You already know. I live for this shit. But my friends, but what I'm saying is just a few more seconds, then y'all can have it. What they're saying is when the clip that I sent you via email, graphics, Google, you'll see it, is about how the Schumann resonance affects your psychology, your mood, your diet, the way you feel. All of these things are affecting. We just kind of agreed with that earlier in the panel.
I didn't listen. What I'm saying, I'm saying.
So you saying that?
Hold on, I got him.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying that. I'm hollering at him. I said, look, the Schumann resonance is your psychological template and auric vibration. That's what I'm saying. It don't affect it. It is the frequency that you resonate with. You are the shoe man or the God shoe. What they saying with the code word. We can pull this up and I can show you that I'm on point with it though.
You are. That's why I wanted to bring up some science so we can go ahead and get down to the nitty-gritty of what's happening right now in reality. What people like intellectuals are actually talking about.
But I'm saying that the Schumann resonance is based on a globe earth. And you can't have an ethereal wave system based upon globular concepts. So why do we feel that we're more intelligent? What do you mean?
Because in the clip I sent you, it also shows the human torus field resonance that it affects as well. So it goes back and forth.
Brother, you're missing the point. This is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm telling you. What the Schumann resonance is their attempt to give us chakra layers around the earth. Let me show you something. What the Schumann resonance is the resonant energy that surrounds the earth. Now, the ancestors call that auric energy right here. You see that what's around the energy, what's around the human? Look what's around the earth. You got these different bands. You got a red one, green one, they different layers. But this same concept is cymatics and sound. Any producer know that what we're looking at right now are sound waves right here. We're dealing with cymatics. The Schumann resonance is a vibratory energy that can only be detected through sound detection, cymatics. That's what I'm saying. Look at here. What they're describing as the Schumann resonance of the earth is really the auric energy of the human. They replaced the body with this globe and then replaced the energy field when they said Jesus is wearing a crown of thorns, right? But Jesus is the God ball. Look at this right here. So Jesus is this earth ball, but the energy around it is his crown of thorns. But before they turned it into that, it was you. It was you as the goddamn earth. And then the energy around it, the resonant frequency energy that was existed in these different layered bands were aura layers. I'm showing you how they change the knowledge. And but you want to go back to the part that's plagiarized, fucked over, meant for us to be led astray.
To the fish, spit out the bones.
When I'm saying, no, that ain't what you doing though. You're literally choking on the damn bones and I'm trying to give your ass CPR and you won't let me, nigga. You got a bone in your goddamn throat right now. That's why every time you talk, we hear and I'm trying to save your ass. And you won't let me though. You won't let me though.
Oh no,
you choking on the goddamn bone.
No mouth to mouth, nigga. No, thank you. None of that.
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to make you listen. I'm trying to make you spit out that damn bone, which is the Schumann resonance, because it don't fit on the globe model. And I'm trying to give you the meat, which is the ancient way, the auric layers, the true Van Allen belts.
But he also said
Now
he
remember,
was.
you don't have to go off of the globe
Hold
because
on.
you just said it was bull. No, wait a minute. I'm just saying this.
Hey,
You got
look,
he
this
just said that it was
between me and
bullshit,
that
though.
two men talking. No, all due respect, fellas. Let me and this man hash it out like bosses, and then we'll bring the
For sure.
brothers in. Listen
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
on there
telling
like
you, my
you know,
brother.
it's like working.
Listen
Go
what
ahead.
I'm telling you, my brother. Here go the God's shoe right here. The Egyptians said that the goddess Nut around him is basically his own auric vibration. All of us is in our own energy field. So this God's shoe with this holding up the sky, they turned that into this. Look, bro, check this out. This is the human body surrounded by this huge energy field, and this energy field is what we're calling Gaia, Mother Earth. Around everyone is launching their own simulation around them, and everyone's simulation is online with each other, just like a real live Call of Duty game with everybody launching their own game from their house, but all of us online, no connected, playing one internet game. So all of us is essentially, quote unquote, in our bag. You know, when they say, let me get in my bag, look at what I'm showing you right here, bro. So the body is like a caterpillar in a cocoon waiting to hatch the soul out, which is the butterfly, which is why we crack the egg for resurrection, because you're inside of your own little egg here, which is what shoe represent. The resonant frequency around your body is your own vibration, and your vibe attract your tribe, which is why you're on the earth right now with everybody that exists on this planet in this time and this space with you in your generation. All of us are a class of souls waiting to break out of this simulation or this bag around us. Now, this too deep for the average person, which is why I sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo to regular people. But check this out. The Schumann resonance is literally dealing with all of us is the God shoe. All of us is the God shoe, the shoe man. In our own resonant frequency, creating our own experience and a shared experience. They both can be true. That's the paradox.
Absolutely. And I agree with what you said. I agree with everything you said, right? My only point was that what you just did is literally why I said that science and religion are hand in hand.
They're not, though.
Because
I'm gonna show you why they're not, though.
What was the true understanding?
But that's not what they're doing. This is the reason why science and religion ain't hand in hand. What makes that true is I exist. Science and religion are the same thing on an esoteric occult level, but in the public space, in reality, they disagree with each other on purpose. So what I'm saying is my job is possible because I get to show how science and religion are saying the same thing, because science and religion don't want to say it. So Sanchez exists, syncretism. But they don't want to say it, so I got to come and show how the Big Bang is let there be light. How it's all one big religion, because they ain't going to come out and do the syncretism. That's all I'm saying. They're not gonna come out. They're not gonna come out and decipher all of this shit like I'm doing with the Schumann res. It's that terminology that hid this from you when they came out with the Schumann resonance, with the Van Allen belts, with the scientific terminology. It hid the real terminology. So when a young guy want to know about auric energy, they look up the Schumann resonance instead of the God shoe. And then when they look up the God shoe, they gonna give them some comedic priest that's gonna lead them astray on that. So it's so hard to get led back to the truth, and the truth is that, and the truth is that which syncs all of these together as one divine knowledge that's about you, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yep, the human brain seeks it all together for sure. That's what we're here for. We the reason for the season. But I was just wondering if anybody else knew anything about the Schumann resonance and the spikes that was happening, and literally what it was, and how it affects the anatomy of the human being, et cetera, et cetera. Regardless of the earth globe shape that they put the energy around, You can put that energy around anything, and we're still saying the same
But
thing.
that's what that's
that.
what I'm saying is the people who said that the Schumann resonance affect us, they're lying to you. The only thing that affect you is the stars in the sky astrologically. That's the resonant energy of the heavens as above.
That's what they say it comes
Hold
from,
up, brother.
literally.
Wait a minute, brother. I know what they said, but see, I'm able to tell you what they said in my own way and sync it with the ancestor stuff because that's what I'm trying to get you to see, that you're not eating the fish and spitting out the bones. You literally spitting out the you're eating the bones and spitting out the fish. Because what I'm telling you is they misinterpreting it. The energy that influences us from the earth is coming from the heavens. That's what astrology is all about. It tell you what certain arrangements and vibrational energies and star alignments, how it's going to affect us. Since science don't want to get into astrology because they say it's pseudoscience, they say the same thing but said, hey, that's the Schumann resonance that affect out. And I'm like, fuck you if you don't want to admit the truth, right? If you don't want to participate in the spiritual side, we ain't going to explain it in your way. Because your way excludes the heavens. It excludes the stars. It tries to explain spiritual phenomena without being so spiritual. That's why I'm telling you the flaw that you're going to have, me, myself, when you really combat a spiritual being like me and you're solely relying on their interpretations, you're not going to be able to fully go ahead and go and sync it to the originators and the ancients the way I'm doing here. Because I'm in my bag, literally, just like the slideshow. You know
I gotta leave some for somebody. I can't just eat the whole plate. I'm trying to share the food, but yeah, you got it.
So if it's not the Schumann thing, what is it?
It's auric energy. Why would you think about this,
Auric
right?
energy.
I got you, brother. They calling it the Schumann resonance, named after a white guy who was the last name is Schumann. But the play on words is that the Egyptians spoke of this same energy and they had a god named Shu. Here we go right here. The energy that this Schumann dude is talking about is right here. We're calling it the orgone energy. It basically any kind of light source have an aura around it. Like if I pull up, let me show you basically how to look at this. Watch this.
Are we talking about like the radiation or something?
I got you, brother. I got you. Watch it. Just watch.
Okay.
So any kind of light source will emit an aura around it. Let me give you an example. Just walk with me. So here's a candle flame. Here's a candle flame. Look at the aura around the candle flame. Now watch this. These auras start off, right? Just listen to me. They are thinnest when they're close to the source, but when they're thinnest, they're brightest. As they move away from the flame itself, these energy bands get wider, but they get weaker, like a ripple effect, like throwing a rock in water. So you can see this that once you get to the last field, it's what's lighting your room from the candle flame, the exterior aura. But the auras expand from the source of light in layers, just like we see here with this shot. So when I show you your energy field, your human aura field right here, we are a source of light. We are light beings, and all light beings emit an auric energy around them. And they don't want to tell you that there's auric energy around all of us, bands of light that is beyond our 20/20 spectrum. We can only see in these 7 spectrum. The prism of light is 7 colors basically. When you start getting into ultraviolet, all that, it becomes invisible and all this good stuff or whatever. So there are energy fields that go beyond our provable reality. But that's when all of science and everything we think we know, it goes out the water. And that's when people start going to the churches and the mosques to try to talk about the invisible energy that governs the visible world. There's a world that we see, and there's a world of energy that we don't see. And guess what? The world that we don't see makes up 99% of the universe. It's unseen. That means that everything you see around you is 1% of all there is. And physics only study that and act like they know every fucking thing when they only study in the physical aspect, and that's only 1%. This is why Tesla said, in order for you to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. But guess what? Since we can't see all of that stuff, we forget about it when that's the foundation of everything we can see.
Okay, so
this
then,
is what separates our generation from ancient generations who understood these kind of advanced secrets about reality. But since we only go by what we see, we don't see too much to make any kind of conclusions off of it, which is why our physicists, scientists still can't create the kind of world that out of all these years of wise men dwelling the earth going to hell in a handbasket. But the ancestors had achieved heaven on earth in their so-called primitive state. What did they know that we didn't know?
I don't know.
I know.
But
they knew the knowledge of the unseen world, which we ignore because the foundation of all our science is just physics, the physical aspect.
Okay. So then if we did know about that unseen stuff, what would happen? Like, how would that change? Like, do we have better stuff or something? Or
no,
are we able to see spirits or something? Or
all right, so I'm gonna simplify the answer to your question. Knowing the truth, how will it affect us to know the truth? That's basically what you asking me. If the truth will set people free, and if knowledge is power, give it to them and let's see what happens. I'm gonna bet my money them people gonna end up powerful and set free.
Okay.
Literal power, like being able to literally power yourself.
Like physically, literal. Or power like money?
Okay, like right now, you pay a power bill. You pay a power bill. You don't even know the beginnings of, and I'm not saying you personally because you might have engineering, but I'm saying nobody on the layman's term knows how to generate their own energy. Period. That's dependent. Everybody, no matter how free you get, you still go be dependent to these things that you become accustomed to. Whereas when you start understanding the laws of the unseen, magnetism, electricity, how they interact with each other, how to generate it, how to harness it, how to contain it, how to put it in the battery cells, then you start to break away from the constraints of a so-called system, and you could really be free if you want to or not. It becomes a choice at that point.
We said that.
So,
like free spiritually, right?
So like I'm saying about this candle flame, right? This is the secrets of Saturn, the Lord of the Rings. That's why I'm showing you the human body is like the wick, and it's grounded to the earth just like this wick is grounded to the circle of this candle here. You see this little black wick that's being set on fire? That's your body. Over time, your body is gonna curl up and turn black and wither away, just like the wick in this candle right here. And it's stationed there, it's standing on the earth circle, just like this wick. And surrounding this wick is a flame. And look at it, I'm saying that the same science that apply to this wick grounded on the candle, it's the human body grounded on the earth. And the auric flame that is you once you burn out, right, your energy will be released, just like this whole chemical reaction that's giving us light via this candle. So the flame is but a flash. Your lifetime is but a flash, or what they call, with the body is the flesh, but it's really a flash of light. It comes and goes like light fading in and out, just like this candle flame being lit and burning out, running its course. That's the human life. And once the wick lays down and become ashes, what emerges and ascends is the smoke. Just like when a human goes and decomposes and lay in the ground, what emerges is the ghost to the heavens. This is how deep the ancestors related what's going on earth to our journey in the heavens. And because I see reality through the lenses of the ancestors, I'm able to tap into their interpretations of our journey as spirits and bodies with all of these chemical reactions and natural phenomena, such as a simple candle burning.
So you're talking about like more of a spiritual thing then, right? Like this knowledge
So let me answer you this. There's no such thing as talking about the spiritual without talking about the physical. And there's no such thing as talking about the physical without talking about the spiritual, only until you get in a realm of science where they try to understand the seen world while acting like the unseen world don't exist, which is why our science lead us to nowhere, but the more and more of the same gadgets recreated better ways for you to buy again. You see what I'm saying? It don't really end up to humans connecting with nature, because the nature of modern science is to create this a situation that disconnects us with nature in a way where we now end up going to war with nature, waging war on the planet, terraforming the planet, and all of that shit. So I hope I'm answering you, brother. Like, modern science ain't about saving the world, it's about controlling the motherfucking world with technology that would allow it to do so. So just being scientific ain't enough. You gotta be a good person, because there's intent behind everything. You can be an evil genius. You can be smart as hell and destroying the goddamn earth like a motherfucker with all of your smart ass, evil ass experiments and shit. Or you can really have good intentions with your smarts. So we think just being smart is something to celebrate. No, using your smarts to actually bring forth heaven on earth, a peaceful situation that connects us with nature versus not separate us from nature. We're more connected with technology than nature. If you drop the average human off in the jungle and leave them there, they'll be dead when you show up next month, goddammit. But they need their technology to survive. And that's crazy, because we're natural organisms that's relying less and less on the natural world. That's dangerous. We're relying more and more on machines, synthetic shit. And because of that, we're transforming. We're being terraformed in real time, guys. I can't make this up.
But wouldn't that very thing be creating heaven on earth? Because look, if I had to build a fire every day, that shit would fucking suck.
Let me explain.
Versus like, hey computer,
I got you.
make me a fire.
Don't answer your own questions. When you say it's that thing, is it building heaven on earth? Hell no. If your version of heaven is, well, I don't gotta make my own fire because I can buy a big lighter, then you, no, excuse my language, you would be what I call a cheap hoe. Because heaven to you is, well, I can be lazy than a motherfucker, right? I can let this man make all of my technology and I can just rely on him to make better technology to create my heaven. And because this man create all of the mechanisms that makes my heaven, I'm relying on God to make heaven. And when God decide to make hell, I'm shit out of luck, because I should have made my own heaven. Think about it. There's a dude in the jungle right now that's making his own fire with 2 sticks together. You are happier than him because you got a lighter. But if the world crashed right now and you ran out of fluid and shit, niggas over here would be fighting for lighters and gas and shit, and them niggas will still be in the jungle striking sticks together. Because guess what? When you really think about it, we just fighting to be lazy. We fighting to say, man, look here. I want to be able to take his supplies so I don't got to be struck with the burden of being innovative to be self-sustaining. Because a dude in the jungle ain't got to go take your shit, or he know the knowledge of his jungle, what plants to eat, how to harvest them, how to get fire if he need it. Yeah, it may take him longer than you, but he ain't relying on nobody. That's what I'm saying. So you got the opportunity to be self-sufficient, but heaven to you is being independent long as life will be easier. And that's why the governments of the world gonna stay in power and humanity ain't gonna never rise up. And that's why I don't got no motherfucking hope in this world. Because of that kind of thinking. Your idea of heaven is, I don't gotta be independent. I can rely on another man and his technology for me and my children's survival. When a damn roach don't even do that. A rat don't even do that. If you ask the alligator, would they rely on technology for their survival versus nature and their own survival skills? They gonna choose they self all day and what they know and how they connected with nature. A maggot would do that. A flea would do that. But a human, you can drop him off in the goddamn jungle, he'll be dead in no time, but that roach will be alive with his independent ass on, with his technology. Machines has crippled us and we don't see it. I don't have a problem with technology, but when it start taking away from our humanity where you can't survive without it, you no different than a crackhead now. We can't hear you, Lubis. Unmute your mic, brother. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you. Let me see what.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. So when you said that most people can't survive without it, like, I mean, I think
it's true. It's true.
Could survive. It will just be hard, no?
I know what I'm talking about. You know why? Because I was in the military. And the people that they can drop off in the jungle and they can survive without technology for 3 months, they make 6 figures a year. They go through SEER training. And if you think the average human is a Navy SEAL or think about it. People train in the military for months for you to be able to drop them off in the jungle and they survive without nothing. And you telling me the average human would be able to do that when I served with guys that had all kind of decorations on their badge because they was able to do that. And the average human ain't got all them medals and ranks on their stuff. They couldn't even skin a doggone a squirrel or a rabbit with their own hands if they had to survive on it. See, these are guys that eat meat raw. They will skin the meat with their hand, and I heard the sergeant say that if you save the eyeballs, that's a good protein source. How many humans you know would eat a raw rabbit eyeball to survive? So it's just, I'm saying it's a whole, so it's like, it's levels of this, what we saying, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but having a farm would also be, so I mean, because you went like to an extreme example, throwing yourself in the middle of the jungle. What about having a farm with no electricity? That would be surviving.
But that's what I'm saying. Though, like a farm is a jungle. It's a bunch of livestock, agriculture, and animals surrounding you. You can't escape the law of the jungle. And the same laws that governs the man in the jungle and the tribe, the farmer is living by those same laws. Guess what the laws that the farmer is living by? Keep my water pure and clean and free of lead and poison so I can get best crops. That's the same law that the dude in the tribe living by in his jungle. They actually worship the local rivers in the tribe. So this farmer and the tribe person got the same values. They want the land to be protected and all that. But science want to terraform the land, spread with chemicals, and create food in a laboratory for your ass. So I don't understand how you don't see the different agendas in all of what I'm saying. You bent on being stubborn, and I don't get it. I don't understand why. Like that's clearly I can tell the way you looking off into. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's that science wants to do that. I think it's that science has to do that.
What do they have to do?
Yeah, it would be perfect. Because it would be perfect if everyone just had their own little farm and they would grow their food. but we're overpopulated and we can't do that. So
Okay,
that's why they have to
so watch
do
this,
the
right?
artificial
So
food and the
watch this.
laws and all that
I
stuff.
got you. So look, the problem of overpopulation is a problem that science created, because the creation of modern cities and metropolitan areas was the biggest scientific feats of world government ever since Babylon, and they never could make them sustain themselves. So all of our societies crash after we reach a boom of population. All of our modern societies crash and find ourselves in the same problems that the ancient societies in Egypt and Babylon face. They built the city with a certain population in mind. Then when it exceeded expectations, it put a strain on those systems, which has to be constantly reset, destroyed, and rebuilt, just like they're doing today, which is dumb as hell. Because when you hear these people talking politics and science, their number one thing is why we can't build sustainable systems. You know why? Nature already built one, nigga. It's outside. You ain't got to build a sustainable system. You just got to participate in the natural system outside that the animals and everything else already follow, instead of trying to build your own shit. And that's why we keep on falling flat on our fucking face. And I hope you see that.
I think the overpopulation stuff is a ruse.
Yeah, no,
I think that's to justify their eugenics. Because then the question is, who do we kill? Who do we sterilize? And I think it's all the wrong question, because you can see them locking down just like 70 to 80% of the world they call wild lands, off limits to humans. And the problems can be so easily solved, but they don't want them solved. And in terms like sustainable are just their talking points.
Salute to the panel. Watch that Pixar cartoon Wall-E. It explains everything, the first 10 minutes. So what happened was all the people went to live in these so-called spaceships. They was 800 pounds. They was laying in automatic chairs. Everything, food, everything went automated. They just was fat slobs in spaceships. And it was a robot on the earth, Wall-E. The earth was just trash. He picked up a 10-carat diamond, looked at it, flipped it around, tossed it over. Signs and symbols for the conscious mind. Carbon wasn't worth a fuck. All the people went up and automated their whole life, just like you wanted, and made everything so easy. They ain't had to exercise, do nothing. They just sat in chairs and pushed it. Wall-E, Pixar cartoon. Just watch the first 20 minutes and explain what you said was bullshit.
The cartoon. All right.
They put a lot of this propaganda crap as I see it in the movies. Do you remember that movie Idiocracy?
It showed you after everything gets automated, what the fuck are we gonna do?
But we have to wonder, like, why do they put these parables in front of us? Like, why are they showing every child who's growing up that? How big of truth could it be? They want people to see that.
Are you talking about that movie?
Yeah, whenever they put out these movies, I feel like they're just like prepping people, and maybe it's going to come true, but I think they know the script, they know the game plan, and they're just playing their role and acclimating people to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I could say is how Sanchez was talking about how we'll like overpopulate ourselves and stuff, and how science is screwing up. That's not a controversial thing. Like,
it's extremely
like it's normal for civilizations to die off. Like our civilization, this Western civilization, it will not exist. We will go extinct, just like the Roman Empire. It will happen, so that's not like a controversial thing. We're overpopulating ourselves. Yep. We're going to exhaust our natural resources. Yep. We're going to start fighting each other. Yep. This is normal stuff that you can see through history. All the civilizations that don't exist anymore, like Egypt and the Mayans, why do you think they're not around anymore?
I disagree with it, man.
But our natural resources,
it's extremely controversial.
But our natural resources,
It ain't no need for an empire.
Is because our natural
We have
resources
enough food, we have
are
enough
limited
water.
to us. Listen, our
That's a
natural
psyop.
resources.
We got enough gas, we have enough water,
Our
we have
natural
enough land.
Okay,
That's a
you keep
psyop.
going. Okay, like I said, our natural resources plentiful. It's just that it's limited to what we can access. But that's done by the government that's supposed to be us. So I wouldn't say that we're running out of space and nutrients and resources. It's just that we're limited to that at gunpoint. But
All
yeah,
right,
y'all
cool.
got it.
Let me rewind it right quick. Let me rewind it to when he said, like the Roman Empire and all, it all ends. It don't end. It's just a different form of time and life. So when you talk about like the Mayans, this, that, and the third, it's just not in that time. Civilization and people never end. It's just a different time, but these same people exist all the time. You got niggas in the hood right now, right? Them is a certain type of people that probably was a certain type of people in a different time. We lived through time. So when they talk about dynasties and they talk about before Christ, after Christ, this, that, and the third, the same people, you cannot destroy life. It's impossible. But go ahead.
Why they
y'all.
don't listen? Let me ask you a question. When they like how they say art imitate life and people, you know what I'm saying, try to perceive what a future will look like or whatever, why whenever they show like some type of apocalypse event where, you know, the world is in dire straits, there's no more electricities, so zombies come, this disease, why they don't never show people showing off their natural skills then? Why they don't show people like creating little farms and incubating little systems and showing off? It's always like niggas scavenging for canned food and shooting cats and shit. Like, why did if we believe motherfuckers could do this shit, why don't nobody showcase these skills in real life? I don't think motherfuckers know how hard farming is. You know what I'm saying? My people got a farm in Mississippi. That shit is not easy. That is work from 4 a.m. to 7 at motherfucking night. Ain't nothing easy about farming. Ain't nothing easy about none of the shit we talking about doing, because you got to have muscle memory for it. And them folks in the jungle been doing this since birth. You ain't even got the muscle memory to, you know what I mean, know how to do some of this shit or even consume some of the shit they consuming.
Yeah, I've got a ton of respect for farmers. And they're under attack right now by these climate communists. They're like confiscating people's farms in Netherlands and other places, saying like, oh, there's too much nitrogen. It's like, what are you guys talking about? They just make stuff up. I just want to share this quote real quick from the Club of Rome.
While allowing the factories to put smoke and all this shit in the air.
It's so obscene. Crazy. Yeah, but the Club of Rome put out this document, and it really is the blueprint, I think. The common enemy of humanity is man. In searching for a common enemy against whom we can all unite, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. In their totality and their interactions, these phenomena do constitute a common threat, which must be confronted by everyone together. But in designating these dangers as the enemy, we fall into the trap, namely mistaking symptoms for causes. All these dangers are caused by human intervention in natural processes, and only through changed attitudes and behavior can they be overcome. The real enemy then is humanity itself. So they want people to come to this conclusion, and they're giving people all these puzzle pieces like, oh yeah, it's so crowded and rent's going up, but that's a huge problem, right? And global warming and the famines and all these things and the pollution. They just say all these things, and then they want people to come to the conclusion, oh, we need population control. That's what they're working backwards from.
Yeah.
Well,
because they want to do eugenics.
Well, again, I don't think it's a oh wait, am I muted?
We hear you.
Okay. I don't think it's a controversial thing to say that, you know, like we'll be the end of this place. I mean, humans are the rulers of this planet. It's not crazy to say that, oh yeah, you know, like we're like fucking it up, you know, like we drill for oil, we kill off species, like it's not like I don't know, like realizing that I don't think like
that we're fucking it up.
But what you trying to get with that, my brother? Like,
I'm saying that's the biggest lie in the world to say we the rulers of the planet. You got it.
It's a huge lie.
It's
extremely controversial. You keep saying it's not controversial. It's like a rhetorical tactic.
You basically believe we are, to me, us little ants can stop a tornado, water. This planet gonna shake us off like fleas. You have.
Actually, you're right.
Listen, they giving us planetary, but listen though, Dean, they giving us planetary problems when Tim just said that most of the land they deem uninhabitable by humans, so they pushing us into these congested cells and spots that cities and towns and all of this shit. This is where the pollution and the shit happening. The earth is this the face of the earth or the plane, however you want to look at it. If you think you can destroy it because you destroying yourself and polluting yourself, you got another thing coming. How you think motherfuckers that live in the city with all that smog drive 30 minutes out to the country and it's fresh air, it's all that, none of the shit that the city people got going on. You dig what I mean? Because this shit
Bobby,
is too, this shit, once you
cities look like a cancer when you fly in a plane. They look like a sore.
Listen, the globe, one thing, whether you want to believe in the globe or not, the globe gives you a sense of finite space, meaning that if we gonna keep fucking it up till it ain't nothing else. But once you understand that, bro, it's too much of this shit for them to fuck up. We fucking up ourselves. That's the only thing that's getting fucked up in this. Where Bobby, you live at and your shit getting fucked up.
Bobby, there is actual engineers trying to make a superpower, right, for New York, so they can put the whole population in New York in one square, and it only take a big old square with a radius of like 7 miles to put the whole population of New York in that motherfucking square and inhabit it.
That's called super blocks. These giant towers and all of this shit. I'm here.
A big
They're looking to
alien
make a
ant
million-person
farm.
pyramid
This ain't nothing but a
residential
big
property.
alien ant
That
farm.
part, Tim. Right. That's the shit that's really going on. They compartment, they putting you in a cell. They stacking your ass on top of each other like Lego blocks. You can't listen. Dean, what was I saying earlier, that people don't just like being around each other? Motherfuckers need elbow room and space. You can't force motherfuckers and say we a melting pot. Everybody not go blend with each other. People should naturally gravitate to the people they go gravitate to. But once it comes to this we situation and what we finna do, they start forcing you in pies with motherfuckers you not gonna mesh with automatically create tension, disease, and all this other bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, they're packing us in tight. Make it feel crowded.
Alien Ant Farm. That's my favorite group too. That's my favorite rock group. But one of my Alien Ant Farm. We're more like ants. We're more like ants. Everybody talk about all these other animals, but we're more like ants. When you see a city and the streets and at lunchtime, everyone come out, we look like an ant farm. When you're in an airplane and looking down and looking at the city, especially at night, I just look at it like, that look like a scab on a body. It don't look natural to take out the trees and put these big empire. It looked more natural to live, but towers of people putting people in basically warehouses. If you go to New York, I'm from DC, you go up to New York, Brooklyn, all it is just warehousing people. It looked like one of those apocalyptic movies where they just using this for fuel. Cities is just big alien ant farms.
But dig this, dealing with both sides of the topic, man. You say we ants, right? You know, we got all the knowledge from the ants. Ants even bury they dead. But look at this though. The biggest things in life is microscopic. So if we microscopic ants, that would make us big as hell in reality. The thing that kills you is under the microscope, not the big thing you're looking at. So the thought is microscopic. The thought, you can't even see it. And that's the biggest thing in the world. I just wanted to drop that jump, but y'all go ahead.
Hey, let me say to y'all, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's time for me to grub and get up out of here, man. This was like a little week, Tuesday little stream. But I ain't gonna lie, I can go forever, bro. But yeah, I gotta get up out of here, man. Space them out, cause I gotta come back tomorrow. I'm trying to do more streams, but they ain't that long though. But yeah, salutes, man.
Salute, bro.
Much love, man.
Hey, it's Sanchez. Next time you go live making them beats, nigga, open up the panel. Come up there and give you a little couple tips, man. I'll be fucking with that.
I'm open ears, man. I'm a lifelong student to production for sheets.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. You already
just
know.
Put an album out. You need to just put an album out.
When you gonna do a beat battle?
Hey, guess what? I'm ordering up a whole booth in my shit right now, man. You know they got the little old phone booth size booths. You can order them off Amazon. I'm gonna get me one of them. I got the fucking mic stand came today. Matter of fact, I got my NT1A. I showed y'all. I'm waiting on
I was telling
each
you,
piece.
that's what I meant to tell you about that NT1A. That's a good mic, but the NT1 is better for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? With like the frequencies that it pick up and all of that shit.
Yeah. Everybody
They
kept
got the NT1A and the NT1, but the NT1A is still a great mic. Don't get me wrong, but you know, they push that NT1A because that's just they selling point. Roll like the Roll be wanting to sell that motherfucker, but that NT1, that's the one.
Hey, bro, salute to the panel. Hey, bro. Man, could you put something out so I can stop going through your YouTubes to play your joints? Could you put something in like a packet so I could stream it?
Yeah, I'm about to. That's what I'm working on now. My whole own little studio shit set up so I can. Do
I need
my
to hear
own
your shit.
and
When my mans and them hear it, they be like, who you get? I said, that's bro. And then I gotta say, go to YouTube. They be like, no, just send it to me through one of those streams. I'm like, nah, it ain't a song. And niggas be mad, dog. I be blasting your shit in the car, man.
So let me, it's coming. Just bear with me. It's gonna be worth the wait. I ain't gonna make y'all wait that long and come with the whack shit neither. But as far as this NT1 versus NT1A, I think that's a good conversation, man, because
yeah, most definitely.
I
meant to them microphone frequencies and just like studying the range that the mics pick up and all of that, you know what I mean? And the reason why I looked into that because I was finna get the NT1A off of Sweetwater. It was a little package deal that they had. But as I was doing the specs on it, it's a great microphone, but when you're doing hip hop specifically, that NT1 pick up more like the monotone levels and the, you know what I'm saying, kind of like that straight frequency versus that NT1A. It's kind of like more for singing and shit like that.
Okay.
Hey,
I think
got
I'm
a
gonna
little
fuck around
gem
and
too.
get both of them and swap out and see because for
it'd
some
be a good
tracks,
idea just to kind of like compare them because you know real musicians in the studio, like if you had a singer on the song Sanchez and we was in a big studio, they wouldn't sing on the same mic you just rapped on. You dig what I'm saying?
They got mics just for the. That's what I'm saying. I might keep that one for the. Cause I was thinking swapping it because I ain't opened it. But
you
it's
ain't gotta
like
swap
I'm gonna
it's a
just
great
collect them and keep add to my collection and get the other one too. Cause I was wondering what's the difference. They got the NT1 fifth generation though, but I like to go to Rode site and get the old version that they made like back.
The older
in the day.
mics be the best ones, bro.
Yeah, they be the best.
When it come to microphones, Rode is good. Newman is like the pinnacle. Newman is like the one. Sony and JBL, you know what I'm saying? You can't never go wrong with them. So Eminem rap on the Sony mic. But that Newman mic, that's probably like that's gonna get you your most frequency range. Whether if you want to sing on that motherfucker, rap on it or whatever. That with that Apollo interface is like that's gold for a home studio. You see what I'm saying? You crushing damn near the big SSL boys at that point.
If you in like a house studio, man, just get a blue mic, bro. To be done with it is relatively
the
cheap.
blue mic is the blue. I ain't gonna say I got a blue mic. It's a great mic, but it ain't better than that Rode mic.
It probably
that Rode mic is up more.
That Rode, I got a blue mic, trust me. And you're right, that blue mic is good for rap, Sir Drop, but the Rode NT1A and that NT1, that NT1A and that NT1 is a better hip hop mic.
How much is that NT1?
It's probably around the same as that blue mic, around 250, 300.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, I need to look into it myself.
I was just finna ask you, should I get the fifth generation one for 250 right here? Because
it's around 250. Yep, that's it right there, that NT1. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
But when you ready to go like really hard with that shit, pause. That Newman. You want that Newman and that Apollo. That's gonna run you about $2,000, but that's gonna be the best investment you ever made on a microphone and an interface ever. You know what I'm saying?
That's that shit Drake and them be using.
That nigga Dale know what I'm talking about. That Newman mic and that Apollo.
Yeah, that Newman. Yeah,
your voice. Listen to me right now. I swear to God, Sanchez, it don't matter how much mixing you do. The Newman mic and the Apollo, your voice come out just rapping on that motherfucker. You sound mixed already like glass. Like that's an incredible. Like you don't even need the box around that motherfucker. It's so clarity and focus on picking up your vocal signal. People rap in an open room. Like I could just put a towel
take out your breath.
Nigga, I could put a towel over my head. Do you hear what I'm saying? I could put a towel over my head and just cover the mic like that. And that mic is only gonna pick up my voice. All the other ambient sound is being canceled out. It's how great that mic is. I ain't mean to get into a little long, but I get excited to talk about that music shit. Y'all got it.
Hey, y'all know FL 808 shit harder than 12 and 20.
Say it again.
You know, when you export a beat through FL 11, the 808 shit way harder than FL 20, FL 12 and up. It's something about the FL 11 and under where the bass hit way harder when you export the beat.
You know
man,
why?
I miss FL 11,
I figured it out.
I
figured out why, bro. And this is gonna make your ass trip out. It's because FL 10 and 11 and all them, it comes stock with the limiter on the master.
I was just finna say that. You just did. Hey, Sanchez, I was just finna say that. Niggas don't even go to that master track and see it already got a limiter on it when you go to the audit. All you got to do is put a soft clip and a limiter on your 808 track.
Clip on mine.
Yeah, just put a soft clip and a limiter. You know what I'm saying? Turn your ceiling up, then turn your saturation down to probably like 3 to where it's catching that 808, and then you will be able to trick the signal. So it'll give you a low signal, but you could turn that 808 to where it hit. But usually on the old Fruity Loops, like you saying that 11 and 12, that limiter will be on the master track. So all your sounds will come out sounding loud and crisp. It's like it give it an automatic mastering effect on it already.
Yeah, I knew it was something about them FL beats, man. When I had FL 11, bro, that shit was like, it was just something about it. Every sound was punching. The snares from the hi-hat, all that shit was just punching. It was like, bro. Now
I've been 20 years on this FL shit, man. Probably 20 plus. So I be teaching motherfuckers like the ins and out of like little tricks and shortcuts you could do on the FL and how to mix on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Pan and stereo separation. You dig what I mean? It's a whole Fruity Loop Bible, bro. It's a book called the Fruity Loop Bible. That bitch thicker than the actual Bible. The shit you could do in Fruity Loop is unmatched, bro. I don't even use Pro Tools, bro. When I record songs, all the songs you hear that I got, I do the beat and the record, all that shit. I do right in the loops, bro.
When I see niggas now using FL for recording, I say FL, and it came a long way, man.
It's the God, bro.
This the new beta version.
That's why real musicians hate us.
Yeah, I started from FL. Everybody was telling me to go to Pro Tools. I'm like, man, I would just stick with FL, bro. I don't know.
Nah, fuck Pro Tools,
man. Y'all see my screen share?
Yep, I see.
Yeah, I see.
Hey, look, this the new beta version. Yeah. So with this, you can do the stems and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can get all your old school shit, have it separated into different stems. Like what what's that shit? What's that sampler? Serato, like what they doing. So
basically what he's saying, you get a sample. This motherfucker so cold now, it could take any sample and separate all the sounds.
Yeah, piano out. It'll take some bass out. So guess what? So I was fucking around with it, right? So I said one song I wanted to always separate it was that Isley Brothers shit. You know, the whole, just check this one out. Maybe y'all hear what I'm saying.
I love you. Yeah, that's that shit.
That shit pimping.
Yeah. And you just got the guitar out that bitch. Facts.
Damn.
Now listen to how clear that
You
guitar
doing
sound,
something
y'all.
with this one?
Hold on.
Hey, that's crazy.
And I don't mean to talk over your beat, Sanchez, but the clarity on that guitar, y'all gotta know that this is a whole sample plan. He just separated the guitars. This nigga singing over this right now. It's a bass going on right now. It's strings. It's all type of shit going.
You can't even chill.
That game about to go to a whole nother level.
You know what? I ain't gonna do y'all
that shit
producers.
slap,
I ain't
boy.
gonna do it. Let me stop.
That shit
Let me
slap.
quit.
Hey, you know I'll do the
Let
beat
me
battle
stop,
with you,
nigga.
Sanchez. Let me
stop,
hey,
nigga.
open up your
Hey,
mixer
let's
track
stop.
so I
Let's
can look at
stop.
your
That's
so I can look
hard,
at your
man.
look at how you got
Stop,
your
man.
808 set up.
Hey, I ain't got much going on. I'm becoming more of a minimalist now. This
A
ain't
good
even mix right here. This ain't even
No, I
mix.
could see it ain't. I could see you ain't got no plugins or
Just
nothing
leveling, yeah.
on it. You
For
just
real.
got it leveled out. No, but you doing it right with your stereo separation and how you got your drums and shit into the mono track and all of that. Yep.
But that what I was
Really, if you
saying
got
was
good drum samples, you don't really need to mix it much.
that's for
fire.
real.
I love that beat.
And so I
can't wait
just
till you
took
rap
that
over that joint.
I'll sing to that.
Bro can sing too, for real. Stop playing, bro.
I
You
used
can
to
sing a hook.
sample that shit with the
You could be the next Drake.
Yo, I've been using this motherfucking stem separation to make some shit, man. Real
Yeah,
talk.
that's a fact,
fire,
man.
dog.
I just got that new FL, man. Shout out to the FL users. Go on buy that shit, man. Get a free update every time that bitch come out, man. It's worth to buy that shit.
Hey,
Stop fucking with them crack.
and
Cracks.
we
Yeah,
can
I
do
ain't gonna lie,
man.
bro.
and we
If
could
crack
do
was there, they fucked my computer up last time. They fucked my whole family computer
play
up.
that
Them
joint
cracks
again.
ain't them
They
cracks.
bad.
They vicious
Play
with
that
the
joint
cracks
again, bro.
nowadays, man. Just go on buy that
Vicious.
shit.
Play that
Yeah,
joint
Hey,
again.
man.
I
hey,
mean
guess
to
what,
cut you off,
Bobby?
Sanchez.
Bobby,
What you were saying?
we're gonna do the beat battle too. This another one that
Say
comes
less,
from
nigga. Whenever you ready, man.
yeah,
I
we're
do
gonna
yeah, I
impromptu
want
battles,
in.
all of that, man.
now,
Whenever you ready, Sanchez.
this shit right here is like experimental, y'all. You check this shit out. I've been fucking with the stem joint. It's another one.
I need to play with this. Can't even hear it.
Oh shit. I'm just sitting here vibing by myself and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna play this shit. But yeah, Bobby, this will be fun, man, just to go beat for beat and play our shit and give tips and shit. That's what I've been trying to get on. But yeah, here y'all go.
Straight mainstream
real
shit right there,
simple
bro.
shit,
You
you know
gonna
what I'm
say you gonna that's mainstream, bro. You put your drop that knowledge lyrics on some of that shit. Over.
Okay, I see you, Sanchez.
Yeah.
All right.
You drop that, y'all. You got it. Nice.
I like when you add them kicks that yeah.
That's that. That's fire, bro.
That's
fire.
Bro.
Fire. Shit hard.
Is you trying to rap to that and
like,
sing?
What?
I'm just, I mean, this either I'm gonna fuck with it or somebody else gonna say, let me get that one. That's pretty much how the shit go. If I'm taking too long to do something with it, another artist will pick it up and do something with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how them shits go.
Not fuck your shit up, man.
That's true.
Man.
Okay.
I heard your voice over though.
And this here is some, if y'all want to hear like, well, to me this is whack. I ain't gonna lie. Like the only beat I made recently that I think is whack. This
Don't
was
play
like
no whack
a challenge.
beats.
I'm gonna play my whack ones, cause guess what? Every producer I listen to never ever show they little mediocre experimental shit. And real talk, that's when you can really see that we all got some little. If I went through all my beats, I've probably got like 30 beats. I'll put only like 12 of them in the store for real, or 15 or something.
You know, the whack beats is the ones the artists be liking, and the ones you really like, they don't be fucking with. You be like, damn.
Right. Yeah,
The ones you took, the beat you took 3 hours to make, probably be the hit, and the beat you took 3 months to make, people be like, that's all right.
Let's
and the
get
one
it,
you
Sanchez.
You be feeling
Bobby,
the ones you were just freestyling.
Let's get, because Sanchez know I'm a producer, so he know my critique gonna be a little bit more. I fuck with my nigga though.
Hey,
Bobby, I
wait
gotta
to
hear
do.
some
We
of
gonna
that
do
shit,
these
man.
beats.
Salute to Bobby Knight.
Bobby.
Salute to Bobby Knight. Hey, Bobby, sometimes
Salute, my
that gritty, unfinished, not fully mastered, sometimes those be the hits too. But
No, then you
sometimes the
no,
nigga
they
with the
always
best,
beat it. No,
with the
I know what
2,000
Sanchez is saying
beats.
by his whack beats. It's just a producer thing. It ain't necessarily a whack beat, but it ain't the beat that you finna display. Like, yo,
It's like,
hey, check this one out.
It's like the beat that you make where it's like you can't hear nobody rapping on that in the
Fact.
industry. You was just kind of experimenting. Like this is what this fall under here. See what I'm saying?
That's actually hard.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie either.
I can't hear it.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you two people who will rap on this right now.
I can't hear it.
Right, somebody will rap to that for real, for real.
I can't hear it.
It just got.
I hear
Hold on, hey Sanchez. The first person I hear rapping to this beat is Meek Mill.
I can't hear it.
Hey, that nigga Pluto will kill that shit too. Future.
Yeah, Pluto. Yeah.
Yep.
Rick Ross.
I ain't even hear it.
Most definitely Rick Ross though. This is MMG beat for sure.
Hey, bro, I ain't even hear it. I don't know what
My
happened.
bad, mate.
Oh
When
no,
you catch
we
it
heard
on
that
the
motherfucker.
replay, though,
We heard that motherfucker.
But
That bitch was
it's
I
slapping.
ain't hear it. Play it
My
again.
bad, man.
Seriously, I ain't hear it. All jokes aside, I ain't hear it.
I play it again. Maybe you hear this time. I got you.
Yeah, I'm about to put some more headphones. Okay.
Hey, Bobby, you want to open your shit?
Nigga, that not now you know I open up on you, Sanchez. I told you I'm down for the impromptus too now.
All right. Go on, crank it up. I'm
There it
You
is.
got
I can hear
threaten me
it now.
with a good time.
I can hear it. I can hear it now. Okay. Yeah.
Did I hear me rapping?
There it is. Oh, bro ain't playing. Bro ain't playing.
I told you. That shit there don't
Hey,
sound
bro,
right.
you got that rhythm.
Be like,
Hey,
bro.
hey, but that's why I talk that shit, Sanchez. I knew you was trolling, nigga, because niggas don't got whack beats. That beat, you knew that beat was hard, nigga.
That shit ain't hard.
Bro, you want
Let
bro,
me play
you
one of
on
my
beat.
let me play one of my whack ones. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Bro, on
Nigga
beat.
just
Bro,
be sensitive about them babies.
Nigga, I'm a producer, Sanchez. You know, I know the humble killer vibes. I know how to rock them to sleep, nigga. I ain't really got much. Check this one out, nigga. Blow your whole eardrums loose. Hold on, nigga.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
That was fire.
Let me get the share screen. I'm gonna let you check out like two or three of them, man. And then
Bobby gonna bring us home. Not yet. We gonna arrange it though.
No, this ain't it. This ain't the battle of the beats. This just us.
And then in the battle of the beats, we're gonna cook up on a spot with some of the shits. Like,
we do all that,
Bobby.
Bro done went mainstream. Bro done went mainstream. That's some straight.
Can y'all hear that? Play like some little trap shit for y'all real quick.
I gotta have that one.
My nigga, hey.
Hey, Sanchez, I swear to God, if you check, hold on, time out. Stop.
I gotta have that one,
Hey,
man.
Sanchez, stop. I swear to God. Hold on, wait a minute. Don't say nothing else, Sanchez. On everything I love, if you check your emails with emails from me, that beat is in your email months ago.
Don't tell me that.
Because I knew you would like that beat.
Bro.
That's why that's the first one I played.
Listen, that's going on the album. That's going.
Blaze got nothing on.
Check your email with the email.
Play it back one more time.
That shit right there is going on my album, nigga. That's going on my album right there, bro. For real.
I want to cruise that. Get it on me to play some of that trap shit.
Bro, that shit
we gonna switch up the vibe real quick.
Bobby, that shit so fire, Bobby.
Salute, my nigga.
Bobby. That shit so fire, Bobby.
I know it is. It's in your email, nigga.
Yo, you got to give me, bro. Okay.
That joint.
God damn.
Don't forget the Lord people, Bobby, when you blow the fuck up.
Damn, that shit was fire, boy.
Don't forget the Lord people, y'all.
Bro, that shit gave me like a nostalgic feeling, my nigga. Like
I was telling you,
sounds and shit.
What?
Man,
I was cruising, man. I was up in a Detroit street cruising on 2 in the morning with that joint.
Man. No cap, seeing the city lights and shit, riding, cruising to it.
Let me ask you something right quick, Bobby.
Ask away, my nigga.
You clip a lot.
Say it one more time.
You clip a lot.
On the volume?
Yeah, but it's controllably clipped. That's what I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Now look, this one I'm finna. I got the ozone on here right now. I'm finna run you through real quick what I do.
Listen, when I do my little producer streams, we gonna get you on to do tutorials and tips and shit, man.
That's what I be doing on the page and shit. I be walking people through this shit.
I be having problems.
Most definitely.
Clipping too, though. That shit.
I'm
yeah,
ready.
The clip it. I be having problems with that.
Cause
shit.
I ain't gonna lie, his shit is loud as hell, but
It's
it
loud as
sound
fuck,
good.
but it ain't.
Yeah,
That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Now listen, it's this simple, Sanchez.
That shit breathing in my ear.
Soft clipper. You see that soft clipper right there? Then you want to throw a limiter on your master track. Boom, the limiter. What you want to do is turn your ceiling all the way up. You want to turn your saturation down to probably like 3.33 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Wherever your beat at.
bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real. Now as you listening to the beat or whatever, you see this is where your this gonna show you let me get further in the beat real quick so you can see the drums and shit. Now you see where it's at right here. So what you want to do is turn your threshold down a little bit. I usually turn it down to like 12 something. Then I can turn the volume up.
Oh shit. But okay, so now okay, damn.
Now you see over here, this the master though. It's still not clipping though. It's not clipping. But so it's like I'm manipulating the volume, I'm compressing it, but I'm expanding it at the same time. You dig what I'm saying? So it's still loud, but it ain't clipping.
It's like it's making them more wider.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
That's
hey,
right.
You know what? It's giving that shit. It's giving it that polish, like crunch, that crunch to it.
That crunch. There you go, Sanchez.
Yeah.
That's the
Another
word.
distortion.
You need that crunch. You want a little bit of distort, like
that's what
dealing with producers back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Engineers back in the day, they used to always tell me, don't worry about, I'm old school nigga, man. They used to always tell me, don't worry about shit clipping and don't worry about shit being too loud.
Feel me?
You know what I'm saying? You want that. You know what I mean? Just know how to control it. You dig what I'm like controlling the fire.
That trick that you got for controlling it right there, bro. You're gonna have to do that again. We're gonna have to do a stream and open them up and get and do some. And do a
nigga. And this I'm gonna play this last one. This like a little sample that I've been that I was fucking around with just to, you know, like you say, I be fucking with them samples, chopping shit up and shit, like you in that little stem shit and all of that. Hold on, I'm gonna let
that
let
shit
y'all
was
check
so
this one
fire
out.
when he turned that shit up and it didn't go red and it sounded fire as hell.
Yep,
bro, I got
that
to get up on this, man. I got to get up on this.
Yeah.
Motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Beyond stupid bitch. Look at that. I'm provoking that up. I'm making motherfuckers just hate God more. I'm provoking that up. You goddamn devil worshiper, you ain't got no excuse. Motherfucker, you ain't coming in no, you come in the name of faith. I guess if you like a house nigga more go competitive, if I say I'm God, then I guess you have to take the side of Satan, no motherfucker.
Oh my God.
I can't hear it. True stories.
Bro, let me tell you some shit.
Oh man, I can't.
Let me tell you some shit real quick. Hold up, stop this
salute.
real quick. Let me say something real quick. Guess what, yo? If you notice, when I made on some bullshit and all that, I didn't make none of them beats. And the style of them is that heavy sort of college dropout. See, what I like about you, Bobby, is you got that old shy vibe that Kanye forgot about. That old,
what I'm trying to
old,
listen, bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Chicago is a mixture of soul music, but you would think that, like, if you listen to this beat, it's like that soul New York shit, but the drums is more leaning towards the thirds and like some down south kind of bouncy. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey man, look here. It's like, nigga, if I would fuck around and have you produce most of my album fucking around, cause this the type shit I like to rap on.
You ain't said nothing but a word, my nigga.
Real talk. We gonna get this. We gonna do this shit, bro.
You ain't said nothing but a word, my nigga. It's supposed to been happen, but you already know, nigga. Hey, better late than never, my nigga. Just like that.
Y'all
just
all
like
this
that.
shit is the vibe
and
on with the
and
flow,
I'm dead ass with you, Sanchez. That first beat I played, I knew it'd be a beat that you fuck with just on the type of vibe it was. It's in your email, bro. All you gotta do is check. It months ago that shit was in there.
Oh man, nigga, hell yeah! I'm gonna shop with you for this album.
For sure. Yeah, appreciate the shine though, my nigga. Hell yeah, most definitely.
That's fine, sir.
I'm gonna Stop the
Fire.
screen share
And
real.
then,
Fire,
and
sir.
then,
I
and
tell
then,
no lies. I tell no lies.
another thing that I want to do, nigga, is start a reel and get serious about the producers. Like, we got a lot of producers follow this shit. They be telling me, like, when you gonna do some streams where we, like, on some producer roundtable, you gonna be the OG of that shit,
Man,
nigga. You got all
I
the
be y'all
sauce. We
street
got
team on the
we
East
got
Coast, man.
Yeah.
I be y'all street team in the DMV, man.
Not the
Yeah, we
Sanchez.
gon-
Why you
I be
think when
your
you was
street
like,
team.
He gonna get
I
us
made
laced
beats for
up,
2
yeah.
Chainz and shit like
be-
that. I'm like, man, nigga, we got similar shit. I got my first record deal at 19, man. I was first beat I ever made was for BG. Man, shout out to
Yeah.
B Jizzle, free BG.
Bro, we
you know,
finna
life after
Big
cash money.
BG, that's my guy. He in the
You
studio
know
right
what?
now.
You,
In the studio right now.
you sitting on a lot of information as far as engineering and production that I think need to be exploited up out of you, Bobby. I got this sauce
Facts.
put out there for the people, man. Real talk. Cause I got to get up on, I'm saying your finished master is this raw, rugged, but yet fire ass sound that I gotta get, bro. Because look here. The thing is the loudness wars. Everybody trying to get they shit loud without distortion. You just showed some damn near magic with that soft clipper and limiter because Bobby, you know that niggas is debating which one should I use, the soft clipper or the limiter, but you slap both of them on there.
You supposed to
And
use
it's
them like listen,
yeah.
the Fruity Loop Bible, Sanchez. When I listen, it was probably like 2007 in Atlanta. It was this New York nigga I knew, and he put me on. I was using Fruity Loop at the time, but I wasn't recording in it. And I remember I went to his studio. His whole studio was built around Fruity Loops. He was the first person I seen making beats in Fruity Loops, recording in it and all that. And I was like, damn, how you know? He was showing me the tricks and trades, how to time stretch and all of this, how to slide the bass.
And he's out too.
Listen, listen to what I'm telling you. And he had the Fruity Loop Bible, the actual physical version. He was like, bro, all you gotta do is study this, man. It'll teach you how to mix, how to follow your levels, how to do that. And it's like, for real, when you want to get into anything, studying is the key. Researching is the key. So it's like I had to sit down and take myself away from the artistic point. You know how, like, if you're a painter and you just like slapping paint, and put myself into like, what colors blend together right? Like, if I put a red and a green together, what can I really, and how much red do I actually need and all of that? And it's the same way with making beats.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That Fruity Loops Bible is a $50 book. And as long as I've been producing music, I ain't think to even check that bitch out.
I didn't even know it was a Bible.
I got the PDF version. Yeah, it's called the Fruity Loop Bible. Sanchez probably looking at it right now.
But because I've heard folks talk about it, but I'm like, man, I don't need no damn. I ain't even considering that. I'm gonna just look at tutorials from Metro Boomin, from this with that with that. You know what I'm saying?
They never gonna give you all the sauce. Listen, a nigga that's out in the, a nigga like Metro Boomin, shout out to him. He from the Lou, man. He ain't finna give no nigga all the sauce. They like producers that got them little producer channels and all of that. They not giving up the sauce, because why would I give you my sauce? Why would I help you really make your beats better?
Let me show you how bad it is. They don't even share the screen when they making the beats.
Thank
we
you.
had the
They don't share the screen. They
bro,
don't share the tempo. It's the tempo for real.
Bro, you gotta beg them niggas to share the screen. They don't
Like,
want you to
what's the tempo, man?
Right.
They don't want to see you they plugins. They don't want you to see what BST they use, what kick pack, all of that, man.
Yeah, but the real sauce is studying them engineers.
Yeah. And that's the key, because I had to start studying engineers to know like where to put the drum, how low, how to make it kick harder, how to make your 808, how to make the snare stand out, where to put the hi-hat in the beat, if you got a sample, do I need all the high, do I need the low end in it? Meaning, like, do I need the bass and all of that? Because I could get all of that out and leave room for the bass that I'm actually finna bring in. Like them little simple tricks, like taking all the low, taking all the high end out of your kick and your 808. Because why is it there for? That's gonna give more space for your other high end instruments to perform.
For your high frequency.
Right.
Nowadays, sometime I'll leave it there depending if I want the 808 to have a little crunch, like high-end crunch for them ear pods. But for the most part, yeah, man, like It's a lot of little tips. That's why I want to have a producer round table at least once a week or somewhere we can sit down like this and give out the game and all that shit, bro. Even make them on the spot and all that live stream just like this.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm with it too. Yeah.
Me too. Hey, bro, don't forget y'all can side chain shit too. Don't forget about that shit.
You know what I heard?
Yep.
I heard who said this? It was
side chain.
It's a big. What's this producer name? I forgot his name. He's a big name though. I was just looking at this interview of him. It's multi-platinum producer and shit. They asked him, do he side chain his kicks and 808s to get that hard sound he got? And he was like, that's a no-go for me. Why would I side chain? Because now I'm taking energy away from my 808 so that my kick can punch through, as they say, or whatever. But I'm like robbing Peter to pay Paul. He was like, basically, this is what I do too. I don't side chain. I fucking, first of all, I pick the right kick and 808 that go together. Then I'll take some frequency off of the 808 and boost the other one on the kick. That's like a cheap side chain, but it's EQ. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, I will make sure that my 808 hit later than my kick, so that my kick can be the initial transit, and then and then the 808 will be a little later.
I like that shit. I just don't like the dip that shit do. That shit do like a dip in your shit. So
You're mostly side chain with sub basses in the kick.
Yeah, that's what I was just finna say. A sub bass is good for side chain and just to bring that low end up a little bit more, because sub basses usually just got a lot of high in it. But like to Sanchez's point, when you got like the problem most producers have when it comes to that 808 kick is just as simple as finding the right ones that go together. It's just that simple. Niggas try to force a kick that they like with an 808 that they like, but them two not a mesh. You got to find one that, and a lot of times, what you will find a producer do is not stick with a kick that work because you wanna feel like, oh, I gotta find a kick for this nigga. I got a kick that might fit for 30 beats. If that kick and that snare working for every beat, use that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? You think that 808 Mafia and them niggas is going and find a new 808 snare and 808 sound every time they make them? They reformatting and tuning the same fucking sounds on every beat.
But and you know what?
Spins 808 and that red kick.
Timberland said it the best. He said that basically all of his hit beats is another hit beat that he rearranged with them same instruments. And you can hear that shit in his beat. Because the game is, if it worked once, it'll work again. If I figure out
why you say templates.
you know, templates, that's what it is, a template. Right. That's exactly what it is.
And make create your own drum pack. Create your own drum kits. You see what I'm saying? Don't just download a Kanye West drum kit and this drum kit. You know, pick, like the same way with this knowledge. Take the meat, spit out the bones. Every snare and every motherfucking hi-hat in that shit is just keeping up space on your fucking computer. You know how many times I see niggas with 1 million kits and I'm like, nigga, you go to the Southside Mafia kick every time though. What the fuck you got all these other, you ain't even using them. Delete that shit.
And you know what's crazy?
Right.
I've been downloading kits ever since I first started Fruity Loops. I got hard drives that I had since high school, damn near. And so every time I get a new Fruity Loops, I'm consolidating all of these sounds into, like, I can go to every sound I had since back in the day when we was cooking up, and still the new ones I'm getting today. So you can imagine, like, I got terabytes worth sounds. And when I go through my Fruity Loops, it's like right now I'm using the current kits that everybody else using. If you are in the producer community and shit, people, I'm updated with the recent kits folks using now. But I still just search through all these kits every fucking time I'm cooking up to go to these same ones I'm using the most. And it's kind of like hoarding for real. It's a form of hoarding.
It really is, bro. It really is, because it's the nostalgia of it more than the use of it, which I get because I'm the same way, bro. I got motherfucking computers and hard drives that probably can't even work no more. And I'm like, shit, one day somebody will be able to fix this bitch and I'm going to be able to get. So you hold on to them things for real. That part I get. But to your point, even with the new sound kits and the drum kits you download, and like you just said, you find like 2 or 3 snares in that bitch that you like, that the couple hi-hats in there opens, the kick that you like, the 8, and you fuck with them. And you rearrange them according to any beat that you want to, because all that other shit in there might not be your format.
And majority of them be recycled sounds. They just EQ'd them a little bit, put a little mix to it sometimes. It be the same recycled sounds that come from Memphis drum packs from the 90s and shit. Some of them come from the MPC. Like, a lot of them be recycled sounds.
Hey, y'all don't ever be want to make no new shit though. Like, ain't y'all tired of hearing that shit?
What you mean?
Like with like bro just said, that shit recycled, right? And then if
everything
you look
is everything
He's
is
saying make a whole nother genre. Just go and make a
That's
whole
what I
nother
was
genre.
I was trying to get to the point of saying you can make a whole new genre instead and shit. That's what I was gonna say. Recycle that shit to a new genre.
That you could do that.
I be trying to do that.
But some beats is like some.
Hey, guess what, yo? And this what's finna get crazy, man. Don't you know that genres of music, how they created is weird than a motherfucker though? I mean, if you really want to examine, like, how does a new genre of music get created? I did an experiment one day, and I talked about this, and Bobby, I was saying how, basically, I hate to say it, but new genres of music are created with new drugs. Now, hear me out, right?
I was just finna go there, Sanchez.
Like psychedelic music. Niggas was doing psychedelics. Screwed up slow music when they was sipping the syrup and shit, and it got this sound. It's like we conjure these new vibes with this new energy that the fucking new drug in your generation.
When it comes to that psilocybin, bro, hold on, listen. The only new way, because listen, what you essentially saying is that we need to find a new pattern where to put the drums at that we haven't found yet.
Yeah.
You feel me? So what's gonna happen is those new thoughts that's already there but not presently with us, a motherfucker gonna have to take some mushrooms. You see what I'm saying?
That's
you
what
gonna have to do
bro.
some. You did, like, listen. The last time I thought of a new way to do beats, and it was crazy because this just off of weed, and I was young. This years before Lil Wayne did a Millie, we was putting beats on MySpace. And I remember getting high with my homie, and we was making beats. And I said, nigga, what if I just start playing snares where drums supposed to go?
Watch this.
What if I start playing snares where drums supposed to go and drums where snares supposed to go? And I swear to God, probably like 2 years later, that's when that Millie came out. And I was like, damn, they took my idea. And for like a year or two straight, all beats was like that, where it just be like.
But I ain't gonna lie, Bobby, that's a
like the snare instead of the.
Look, that's an old idea that you even see in a lot of Latin music, though, where they'll take that drum and hit it on the first note like that. Do. I'm telling you, man. But check this out, though. Right on some real shit, though. That one make a new genre. It'll just make some new drum sauce for an old genre, if anything. But what I'm talking about is like when you said, like, when niggas say, yo, like, think about it, when you hear a whole nother genre of music, you'll ask the person who created this shit, what the fuck was he on? But he literally was on something. Like when a nigga was fucking on the screwed up scissor music, it sounded like you really couldn't even listen to the shit if you weren't on that shit. So it's like, if you look at how new genres come about, like the Molly era that came by, that had a whole vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, though. My thing is, what is the new shit like for, is keep morphing. So if you look at drill now and all that, they got their own little different drugs and shit they use and shit. But I ain't just putting it all on drugs. I'm talking about how do you get a vibe that don't exist on this earth and bring it to this earth. I think you gotta find a way to lead this motherfucker and come back. Yeah.
You gotta get out of here and pull it from the org field, because all new thoughts and new things exist in the org field, like that continuum around us. And when we break out that shell and do that psilocybin and them different little mushrooms and shit, that's when, like, even right now, because I'm locked into the hip hop shit, but when I get to making them real beats, nigga, I might take some shrooms, get high, sit down this motherfucker, and it's like I'll be hearing sounds in the beat that I don't even like, sounds behind the sounds and shit if I listen to the shit too long.
I know what you're talking about.
Like, man.
Bobby, I got a question for you. I have a question for you. So are the 7 notes or the 7 scales in music, is that the same thing as the 7 beats? Since there's only 7 scales, that makes basically
It ain't only 7.
For like the Western culture, I was Googling.
Yeah, but for the Western culture, that's what I'm saying. When you get into all music, bro, when you go over to like India, they got chord progressions over there, bro, that's beyond what you can even imagine. You see what I'm saying? If I had my Fruity Loop, because Fruity Loop got this thing like a chord stamp. Sanchez know what I'm talking about. And they got chords from America, Japan, Russia, India. When you get into them other country chord packs, I swear to God, it looked like somebody just pressed all the keys on the piano. It don't even look like it's supposed to make sense, like make an actual chord.
It's alien-like almost.
So my point was, when Bro Sanchez said make a whole different genre of music, I mean, to me, my vibration flows on no bullshit. I've been in love with strings since I probably was here. It's something about violin strings frequency. So it doesn't matter what genre. If you put some strings in it, I'm a lover. So,
but this is what we saying. The instruments are here for it, right? We saying, how do we rearrange this puzzle? Because it's infinite ways you could rearrange this puzzle. We've only figured out right now what classic, rock, rap. You know what I'm saying? Grunge. You think like the genres of music, jazz, blues, the genres.
Don't
of music,
name it. But don't name it.
But what I'm saying, but even if
play
we
a
don't
song
name
and make it.
But even if we, what I'm saying is this: in music theory, right? Even once jazz was created, it's a certain tempo and a beat frame that go with that. You see what I'm saying? Once hip hop was created, it's a certain tempo and beat frame that go with that. Rock, soul music. It's like once it's created, the tempo of it and the essence of it is created also. So you can't get out of that. It's like, even if I say I'm finna make a rap song, if the shit sound like Isley Brothers and all that, nigga be like, nigga, that's soul music. I don't care if you rap it. That's a soul beat. That's not a rap beat. You would be able to,
I got smoke with you, Bob.
What we saying? What we saying is,
go ahead, man. I got some smoke. So my West Indian culture. Now, I might not got some smoke. It might be. I'm gonna ask you a question. So listen to reggae music. It used to go dun dun dun, like it's going off and on. My American friends found it funny. Now the beat go dun 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 dun. It changed. It evolved. If you listen to it, the older reggae songs, they don't sound like how the youngins bopping now. Same thing in DC. We got go-go music. And the go-go music when I was growing up was like this. Now I hear this radical.
Yeah, because
the youngins in them be like, nah, that's how I go now.
Yeah, you're right. Music is mutating, just like trap mutated the drill. And just like Korean music mutated and evolved to become K-pop and shit like that. But I'm going to tell y'all something before I get out of here. There is a new genre of music out. We was just talking about a new genre. And as a producer, I've been checking out this new genre of music. It's called new jazz. Now, new jazz is like jazz music back in the day, but it's 2023 type drums and it's different. I would play some of it for you, but I know it's probably gonna be copyright stuff. I really don't mind, but y'all could go research it on your own. Just go put in a new jazz beat, and I ain't gonna lie, man, it's an interesting style. When we was talking about something new, yeah, it's its own shit now. I ain't gonna lie, it's definitely some new shit. Let's just play one random beat before we go and see if we can give y'all a glimpse of some of what I've been hearing. So it's a unique sound, as you can see, but that it gives me old school vibes. So what it is, it's a lot. It's a lot of off. It ain't shit where it would normally go, but it's creating its own little bounce though.
It's on the third.
You know what I'm saying?
They put the whole beat on the third, and as it's super stripped down, and the bass that they use ain't a typical 808. It sound more like a sub that's tuned down, and they just playing it like a 808 or like a moog bass behind it.
It's a nice, and I ain't gonna lie, whoever created this genre and whoever the people involved with this shit, what they own, like. But this ain't like, these sound more trap like, but I've heard some new jazz beats that's like, what the, yo. Yes, but just explore it. It's crazy, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. My stomach hurting. I'm fucking hungry. Man, much love to y'all, man. Much love, brothers. I see y'all on the next one.
Peace
out. Salute to you, Bobby.
Bro.
Hey, Bobby, it's
Salute, my
on,
nigga.
man, for sure.
Hey.
Hey, y'all stay up. Appreciate the love and support, man. The Cashapp is pinned to the top of the chat. If y'all appreciate the time and the show, I'm going to be trying to bring y'all more content. I got a bunch of channels, but I'm one guy. But I'm finna buckle down. I'm finna try to, feed all these platforms different exclusive content. But peace and much love. See y'all on the next one. Thank you to all of my Patreons. We out.